On ice 2, Team Nova Scotia versus Team Newfoundland.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the final round-robin draw of the Travelers Insurance Canadian Club Curling Championship. Streaming live from the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club here in our nation's original capital, Kingston, Ontario. I have the pleasure of being joined by the defending gold medalist on the men's side, my co-host Wesley Forget.
Oh my, Dave, such accolades. Yes, my hope is that we're going to learn a little bit about curling tonight, talk a little bit about strategy, and get to know these players a little bit better, and enjoy a great game of curling.
Yeah, it should be a great game. Both teams had a good week. Unfortunately, they're both sitting at a 2-3 record with the way their pools have shaped out. Neither have hopes for the playoffs anymore, but these are both talented teams, and I'm looking forward to the game tonight.
Absolutely.
Teams being recognized by the host committee, getting their special souvenir gift. It looks like a very flat bottle of wine. Do you know what they're giving out this year? I haven't heard.
It looks like a print of the Kingston city skyline. Town Hall.
Yeah. All right, and we're off. As we mentioned, there are no playoff implications on our sheet. However, there are a lot going on across the rink tonight.
Oh boy, is there ever, Dave.
If we move to sheet A, we have Manitoba playing Ontario, and that is for first place in Pool A. So, and first place is pretty critical here at the Travelers. Finishing first in your pool earns you the right direct bye to the semifinals, and you don't have to play any quarterfinals at all, which the second and third place positions go to.
And then moving across to sheet 2, we have Nova Scotia versus Newfoundland Labrador. A Nova Scotia win means that they are alive for the playoffs if New Brunswick loses. And so that'll be action that we'll be following over on sheet 4. Dave, if you want to give us an update on what's going on there.
Yep. As was said, New Brunswick over on sheet 4. They're playing against Quebec. And New Brunswick loses. That means the tiebreakers for Nova Scotia and also Quebec. Quebec is playing for their possibility of a tiebreaker. They have their fate in their own hands, which is really want to be at where you want to be at this point in the week.
Absolutely. So moving across to sheet 5, we have Alberta versus PEI. The winner of this game will take first place as well in Pool B. That's true of Alberta. PEI, if they were to win, they would need a British Columbia loss to finish first in their pool because of a loss earlier in the week to British Columbia.
Yep, British Columbia is on sheet 6, playing against Northwest Territories. If BC were to win here, they guarantee themselves second. And depending what happens on sheet 5, if PEI is to win over Alberta, they will finish first.
Line's good now. Nice shot, Brina. Okay.
All right, and we see the corner guy by Northern Ontario, aggressive in the first end. They got last rocked by a great draw to the button by their skipper that was swept almost end-to-end by a great front end.
Gotta be here. We need to be.
So what have we seen happen so far in this end? Saskatchewan did not have the hammer, so they elected to throw their first rock to the top of the 4-foot. Shot made.
If we're just here, that's
and
fine.
Northern Ontario recognizing that they and announcing that they want to score 2 have thrown up that corner guard, ignoring the rock in the 4-foot.
Yep, Christy Bird being asked for a guard of her one that she threw in the top 8, top 4 there. Just suddenly getting a little deep and over curling there, but didn't end up in that bad a spot. It's in on Northern Ontario's way right now if they want to use that corner.
Yeah, you're going to see Northern Ontario, first of all, they're pretty content right now. Their corner guard is alone. There's no center guards up to get in the way. So they're going to start removing blue stones and eventually make a play to get behind their corner guard, leaving the middle wide open. And leaving the middle open, even if everything goes bad, because all the play will be around that corner guard, they can always bail themselves out by drawing to the button.
Yep. Yep. And just over curling there, I believe they wanted to roll to the wings. I would like to see them kind of roll towards her corner.
Yeah, maybe group the stones a little bit here.
Yeah, I think you probably could have rolled so you were kind of corner frozen on the blue.
Yeah.
That was Brina Patman, the lead for Northern Ontario, throwing that last rock. This is Walker, who's the second.
Hard. Go,
That was
go,
a
go,
good
go.
job rushing. That looked tight the whole way.
Bird. Go,
Nice
go,
scrub.
Go.
And just end up frozen on
Nice
the corner.
weight. She's just a little narrow, Nick.
It's nice that we can hear the players speaking. We can hear the feedback that the skip's giving to the front end.
Yeah.
So we know if there was something done either by the thrower, maybe turning it in or turning it out, manipulating the stone in some way, and that's why we got that roll in. So Northern Ontario is going to respond here by trying to, again, play around that corner guard, remove these blues, clean it up a little bit.
Yep, this is Nicole Dubuc-Charbonneau.
Chris.
A little outside here. Outside sweeper being called on, trying to help it curl up. Going to get one, and not quite hanging on.
So what do we think Saskatchewan is going to do here in response? They've got one rock, top 8. The corner guard's still there threatening the deuce on the part of Northern Ontario. Okay, so they're electing to play a tap back.
Yeah. I thought you could guard here.
I
like
agree.
where that blue rock is. It's kind of a control rock in the situation right
Yeah.
now.
Yep. If they throw a guard on top of that, all of a sudden Northern Ontario is scrambling to try and get that middle back wide open, like we talked about earlier. They wanted to play to the corner, and now we're seeing Saskatchewan kind of let them off the hook a little bit by not throwing the center guard here.
I agree.
Alternatively, if they wanted to keep things clean, they could just walk up and rip that corner guard
Yeah, this
and
looks
just
heavy.
say, "Here's a blank end. Let's end this."
Ah.
See now that corner guard is very much going to come into play. You're going to see a soft hit and roll behind this corner guard to set up the 2.
Yeah.
Yep, board weight called, so that's like a soft takeout weight.
Yeah, and Nicole, who just threw this shot with a bit more weight, but she knows how this turn's going to run for her now, so I like her chances of making it.
Needs to
Skipper
curl.
Melanie Patry is calling the outside on again. I think she's a little bit wide again.
And not really kind of curling into center line. My guess is that once the rock fully crossed center line, did get more movement towards the corner guard. Yeah, you might be right there, just a little bit wide, didn't quite curl up. Okay.
All right, so now we have Nicole Beausoleil from Saskatchewan, the third, being asked to come around this corner guard. Be nice here if she could end up kind of top 4, top 8 kind of area. She doesn't want to split too deep or end up too short here. Too deep leaves Northern Ontario a good opportunity to freeze.
Yeah, and use that corner guard.
Yeah.
That was the first rock they threw.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm wondering about the implications of this call. Going around a corner
you hit the
guard,
broom nice. Just a little heavy.
miss deep
It's okay.
is pretty much a Northern Ontario 2.
Same with Nicole.
Yeah, definitely a good opportunity.
You were.
I think I would have liked to see Saskatchewan walk up and peel that corner guard, get away from this end. Even if you try that peel and hit and roll to a center guard, you forced play around the button area, which is what you want as the team without the hammer. That's how you get your steals. So now we're going to watch Northern Ontario come around this corner guard. Really no risk. The button's going to be wide open. Even if they were to miss 3 in a row, they would have to open draw the button for their 1.
Oh, no backing.
Nicole calling that this one's a little heavy. Skipper saying they don't quite have the back blue right now. And just a little bit heavy.
Good.
A little bit surprising. I thought usually the team that had second practice, and that was Northern Ontario in this case, usually they're a little sharper on the draw weights. I always like when you have second practice and you manage to get that hammer to be very offensive, and like Northern Ontario was in throwing up the corner guard, because the tendency is that your opponents who have been on the ice in 15 minutes, and the ice changes dramatically during that second practice. won't be
Go,
quite
go,
as
go,
sharp.
go, go,
So
go,
I was
go.
surprised to see Northern Ontario slipping deep
She's
a few
a 10.
times.
And this could be just, again, nerves coming up. This might be the final draw, but you're at a national championship, and you are the streamed game. You want to play well for your family that are watching. But you can see here they're playing with confidence. There's a blue rock in the rings. They are not worried about it. They are saying, we are taking our 2 points. We are now going to make this draw around the corner guard.
Yep, that's a great call.
They're going to turn around and say, thanks for the deuce. You didn't peel that corner guard earlier. And so we'll see what happens here. We've seen this draw attempted,
Yep.
so we'll see if we can make this one.
Yep, you never like leaving a team the same shot twice. The chances are
Absolutely
they're
not.
going to make the second one.
Yeah. This one's hanging out a little bit again, not quite curling around the corner.
But it's not a hard and fast rule either.
Yeah.
Don't have to work too hard there. Okay. Here. They're not moving very much. No, I think that's.
No, and
That's
I agree with
plenty to
the
get by
Saskatchewan
that.
back end. It's fairly straight
You
in
can
this
even take
spot.
less, but that's okay.
So an interesting call there on Northern Ontario's previously thrown rock is maybe throwing the out turn around the center guard. Because then if you leave a piece open and you get
Okay.
it half buried, the attempted removal might jam on the blue
So like
that
a
side 12 foot at the
320 I threw in
back.
practice,
And then you get your deuce there.
Right through a 320 in practice.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If you're gonna leave them a little bit on either side, you obviously like leaving it on the outside.
Yeah.
But,
and if we now have watched a couple rocks come down the middle and not curl, maybe we try the other side and see if we can even get one in the rings. They don't have to be far in to be shot rock and to threaten
They have
Saskatchewan.
had some curl there though. I
Okay.
think they're just throwing it heavy. They
Okay.
I think that spot will curl enough once it gets across the line.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might be getting tricked just a little bit. Every sequential rock that's basically running down the same 8 inches of ice is just heating up more and more each time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're
It's
going to
like
see another rock go
the-
deep here.
Usually the fastest shot that you're going to see all game is a draw the button in the practice because teams are warming up that spot. They
Yeah.
don't want to get tricked by accident and end up on a little bit of new ice. Same thing here. We saw probably 5 in a row down this draw path. It's going to be lightning fast and probably fastest we're going to see all game.
Yeah, I would really like to see Skip, Melanie, Patrick here make this shot for a team, kind of show them the way, show us why she's the skipper.
Yep.
And she has quite a large margin for error here. She can put this rock top 4, top 8 buried. Again, the closest rock to the button right now is just kind of a biter back 8, so she doesn't have to be, tight into the 4 foot here with this rock. She needs to be shot rock. She needs to threaten those 2 points for Team Saskatchewan and force the opposition skip to make a shot here.
Yep.
Christy Folek.
Looked like a good looking throw.
Yep. And what we haven't seen on the live stream is that practice that you've been talking about, Dave, where the teams get a chance to sort of warm up the ice before they throw their draws to the button. And the skip is usually the person that throws that practice draw to the button.
Yeah.
So
It's 13-5. It's pretty quick.
no, we're curling it. Whoa.
So that was a bit of a miscue by the Northern Ontario third.
We're shot.
Christy DeBook there. She
Should we take?
Yeah,
she
and
saw that rock was going to overcurl. She might have been able to have the sweepers on that to save the line and maybe nose tap that back blue to keep their rock shot rock.
'Cause even if we're like here, out
Yeah, I
there,
agree. You
I'll
get the
just put it
inside
the same
sweeper on
place
that.
then.
You
Yeah.
probably hit enough chunk of that blue
Yep.
that you stick around and you're still a shot rock.
Yeah, and actually she might have just ticked and rolled to be buried behind that corner guard again, forcing Saskatchewan to make a shot.
Yeah.
Saskatchewan can kind of put this rock anywhere on the center line to guard that back 12 blue rock, or go in the rings and be sitting 2 to sort of put this end to sleep for Northern Ontario.
Yeah, and I think they're trying that same shot there, which trying to come in kind of top 4. Be nice to be fully or even half buried's fine.
Yeah, just shrink the rings a little bit. That's all your goal is
yeah.
here.
The main benefit of this is you're forcing Northern Ontario to throw in a different path here, and as we mentioned, where these teams have been throwing primarily, trying to get around this corner guard as quick
It just needs to be full 8.
is as quick as the ice is going to get. But you take a foot outside and you try to draw the button.
guys, have a look.
There's only been 1 rock down that path the entire game.
Whoa.
It's going to be a lot slower.
Nice shot, Frolic.
That's good.
Yep.
I think would it be nice to curl a little more?
I think mission
I'd like to
accomplished.
see Northern Ontario hit it. Well,
I don't think that Northern Ontario can get by the corner guard and make the double takeout across the face
well
to
that's
get
what I
their
was
2
wondering.
points.
I
Yeah,
think,
I have a bit of a better vantage point here behind sheet 3.
Yeah,
but you wear glasses, so.
Yep, so we're going to see Northern Ontario like to just remove that rock and take their 1 point.
Yeah.
Again, more evidence for why Northern Ontario loves that this whole end was played around a corner guard. There's nothing on the center line. There's no risk here. They can hit 3/4 of this rock and roll anywhere in the 8 foot and get their 1 point. Score first, get on the board, reset, start again, and number 2.
Yep. Getting one here is big.
I remember a former coach of mine, Nathan Martin. He's actually the president of the Oshawa Curling Club, telling me that 60% of the time, name drop. Thanks, Nathan. Like 60% of the time, that team that scored first won the game, and this is a stat that we took to heart as a junior team. So now we're seeing a rock crossing the center line. It's curling a lot.
I like it. Oh no, I don't.
So there
It's
we.
interesting. Did you see how they were sweeping that rock?
I did not. I was so on the edge of my seat trying to see if they were going to get by that guard.
They had the outside sweeper closer.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I personally don't buy into directional sweeping. I don't think it works anymore. I think finish sweeping works, where if you're playing a draw and your down sweepers on the inside, you can encourage the rock to curl a bit more. I don't think on a hit the sweeping is affecting the direction. Certainly with the new fabric on the brooms.
I don't believe that we're making those same micro scratches, but I think you're still sweeping and you're heating up the side closer to you more. 'Cause
Absolutely.
It's closer to your body.
Yep.
You got more weight on it.
Yep.
And when you're heating up that side's just running a little bit quicker. And if that's the side that's curling, it's going to be coming over just a little bit faster and encouraging the rock to curl.
Yep.
Yeah. Surprising to see that. And that's a big opening 2 points here for Saskatchewan.
Okay, should we do a round of updates of what happened? Almost every other sheet has finished play here in the first end.
Yep.
Okay,
On sheet number 1, we had a blank end. Manitoba retaining the hammer over Team Ontario, and again, that was a game for first place in Pool A, and that all too important bye to the semifinal.
Ooh, yeah.
On sheet number
Yeah,
2,
we'll put a little bit more on those.
we saw Newfoundland and Labrador take a point with the hammer over Team Nova Scotia. Excuse us while we wait for sheet 4 to be updated. We're seeing the score go up right now.
And on sheet 4, we have Quebec opening with the hammer, getting their single point. New Brunswick now trailing 1 with the hammer. Alberta PEI, there was a blank. PEI retains the hammer due to their draw to the button. And on sheet 6, BC Northwest Territories, BC opening with a steal 1. Northwest Territories still with the hammer. BC trying to guarantee at least a second place finish.
Okay, so what have we seen on our sheet? So Saskatchewan having stolen their 2 points, they've come up with an almost center guard. I'm not sure if the indication there was to come into the top 4 and it was short.
Yeah,
And again, could be a factor of that,
fine.
having
Yeah.
the first practice, not quite knowing what the ice was looking like.
Okay.
And then we saw Northern Ontario respond with a corner guard, trying to, again, force play away from the center line, keep it open so that if things do go south, you have that path to the button.
Yep.
Nice shot.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice corner guard. It's a little tight. On ice surfaces like this, which aren't curling a lot, you tend to want to keep them a little bit farther, kind of in that halfway guard zone. But could be great for 2. Could be the savior rock if you need to run something in later.
Yeah, it's kind of left a short run back if play does ever get around that corner guard.
Yep.
The other argument for why you leave that corner guard higher is that the center guard that exists right now, just on the left side of center, is high as well. And so they've almost cut off their draw path with the outturn coming down the center line, because you might have to run, on swinging your ice for sure, you might have to run into that.
Line's pretty good.
And so if you leave that a little bit higher, you leave yourself more room to curl.
I agree, yeah. I don't think it's an issue on this surface, but I agree. It makes it, even the fact that it looks more unnatural from the thrower's point of view. That's a nice shot there. And that last nice draw was by Melanie Patry. She would like to say hi to Daphne, Caden, and her husband, Jeff.
Yep. Yes. Line. Hard.
Big sweep here.
Yep.
Coasting
yes,
in.
line. Yes,
Line
line.
looks
Uh-oh.
good. Oh, is it over curling?
A little bit, yep. Little tick, little rub, little
Okay,
roll.
that works.
Yeah. Yeah, it could have been better though if it got by though. Nice shot though.
Yeah, Saskatchewan happy really that play is around the center guard. They know that if they keep play tight to the button, they might be able to get another steal out of Northern Ontario. Nova Scotia again trying to free up this button area by making a play, but we're going to see discussion.
Yeah. So just I don't mind blasting it, giving it like nose.
Yep, Nicole's
Maybe
coming
get
down.
So I heard the word blast on the nose. That's something I'm always a fan of, just throwing some
Just normal.
huge weight, annihilating rocks, just opening it up a little bit.
Not sure it's necessary here. It looks like a pretty natural pocket, those blue. If you could freeze kind of in the middle of them, even on the kind of low side of that one that's off on the side of the 12-foot, sorry, side of the 4-foot, it's hard to get rid of that yellow stone, and chances are it's going to be around later for you to use later in the end.
Yeah, and there's a little bit,
Nice looking throw by Nicole.
a little bit of
Again, what I would argue is backward sweeping. Looking pretty good here.
Nice shot.
See, I agree
Yeah.
with your comment about maybe playing softer weight, maybe saving your yellow rock. They played the sacrifice so
switch 'em.
quickly on it. You might have been able to
even
bring
if
that
you-
back into
Yeah,
play.
even if you're playing the hit,
Yeah.
I don't see why you wouldn't
Just
play hack
same
there.
thing, same weight.
Yeah.
Again,
And that was a nice throw there by Nicole, who would like to say hi, say a special hi to Ellie, Mova, and Zoe, her 3 girls, as well as Charlie. I think Charlie's the husband or the dog. I always like the name Charlie for a dog.
they're both named Charlie, is the kicker, and
They're
she just had to
both
say hi
named
to one
Charlie.
name. Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be a golden retriever though. If it's named Charlie.
Oh, absolutely.
Nicole.
Yeah.
Not up for debate.
I have an
Just
uncle
Nick.
who's a golden retriever named
Go,
Charlie.
Oh, okay.
Go, you got it.
Massive slobbery thing.
Go, 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 go,
This is
go,
a nice
go,
looking
go.
shot here by Saskatchewan.
Yeah, I thought that I saw an indication of the hit here. It's a little bit.
No, she just called the tap. Which,
Okay.
it's an aggressive play, but
Absolutely.
you're playing around a center guard.
Yep.
And it's a pretty good leave. That double's not too natural.
Fairly thin. Yeah, you might not be saving the shooter if you're making
Yeah.
this double. Yeah, to roll behind your
Yeah.
corner.
Nicole just did throw a nice one down here, though.
Close.
Sweeper's calling a little bit up in weight. Riding out there.
It's starting to move now.
Yeah, it should have the double.
It's gonna be very close.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah, should get both of them, but like you said, not keeping the shooter.
Good.
Nice shot.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yep.
4-foot is wide open.
And you can hear the applause from downstairs.
Absolutely, yeah. Must be some Northern Ontario fans in the house.
You're in here.
I haven't heard any moose calls, though.
309.
Did you see the YouTube video of, what's her name, Flurry's team making one of the moose calls blindfolded?
No.
Yeah. It was interesting. And so it's just a coffee can with a string in it, and they kind of wet the string a little bit.
Okay, yes.
Or they chalk the string first, and then they wet their fingers and just pull on it.
Mhm.
And that's all they do.
Okay, I've seen
And
them
it's
at
just a
Briars and
vibration.
Scotties before.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
I've seen them all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know the actual sound was just you, or like the vibration of you pulling on the
Pulling it
string.
through the, yeah.
You
Yeah.
roll it off a little.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saskatchewan attempting
Okay,
to come
good
around
try.
that
That's okay.
center guard.
Not a bad miss, though. That's
Not at all.
A miss light. It's a usable rock. The center's clogged up. You've got 2 usable blue rocks in the center. Yeah.
And their goal as the non-hammer team, again, is to keep play around the center. Even if Northern Ontario finds a way to sit 5 around these center guards, and blue can get 1 frozen in there in the 4-foot.
Okay, as long as they get that one frozen.
Yeah, as long as you get that 1 frozen, yeah. Game on. This one is moving towards center. That corner guard is quickly coming up into play. But again, you want to crash it hard, get it out of the way so that it's not clouding up that draw to the button later. So it's been pushed to a center guard.
Yep.
So
That was Christine. She would like to say hello to Maya, Isabel, and her husband Joe. And I realized I actually said Melanie instead of Brina earlier.
you are forgiven.
Yeah.
Okay, so Saskatchewan team in a.
Clean.
Whoa.
So they're electing to remove the yellow bets back 8.
Yeah.
Just
No.
remove any chance of giving up.
Whoa.
Oh,
a
my
big
call.
end.
You could get a nice roll in
Turn.
here.
Yep.
That way, that way, that way. go, 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 go.
Roll
That's
made.
a nice shot.
Absolutely.
Good throw.
Yeah.
The objective there being to hit and roll to the middle. Again, the rings have been shrunk. The scoring area for Northern Ontario is small, and it's all around the center. They have to be ready to make some shots here above the tee line in play.
Yep. I think it's either that or you could play kind of a normal weight. Try to open up that middle, hit that blue center guard on the outside.
To play the double
naturally
peel.
Just rolls off.
Absolutely,
yeah.
yep.
You
Oh,
don't need
just
to
open
throw
it
a
up.
ton of weight. Yeah, exactly.
Because
You recognize at the end it's not setting up that well, but it is late. I mean, you make one really nice draw here, and puts a lot of pressure on Saskatchewan to respond with a good freeze of their own.
yep,
Looks good.
so they're taking it right to the back one.
Yeah, I don't know if you need to go right to the back one.
That's good.
That's a nice shot.
Well, if I just put one up there, can't
No.
remove it.
Yeah, come sit here.
Yeah. But
So you
if I
just heard
block it off,
Saskatchewan
it makes it
I
hard.
agree with
Indicating that
Beausoleil.
Sit right on top of it.
If their rock is
You
short
corner it
here, they're happy.
It's not bad.
Because there really isn't another way aside for the tap on that right corner guard, left
Oh,
as we see it on the screen.
Oh, I agree, absolutely.
So she's pretty happy just plugging this hole, blocking that open draw path.
Yeah. Yeah. If you slip in, though, and you go kind of top four, it works out well.
Absolutely,
I
yeah.
almost like that.
Again,
better.
you're shrinking the
You
rings.
just can't be heavy.
No, you cannot be heavy here. You don't want to.
This scoreboard's really
Saskatchewan would, as a whole team, would like to shout out to their family and friends that made the journey, those cheering us on, and those at
More than
home. And
that
thank you, friend. They
320 though, hey?
appreciate all the
Out
calls
here?
and messages. And we heard the Saskatchewan fans a minute or two ago. Yeah. Nice looking delivery. And they also give a shout out to the spouses at home, Gerald, Michael, and Brandon.
Whoa! Clean, yep.
Hit the line looks really good from where I'm
Yep.
sitting.
Whoa!
Haven't heard an indication of the weight from the sweepers.
It looks a little up to me, but it's probably going to work out. The
This is
line's
going to be a
really
really
good.
nice shot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard.
And again, they should not be worried about being shot rock after that. Their goal there was to shrink the rings. Now it's very difficult for Northern Ontario to score 2, let alone prevent Team Saskatchewan from promoting that blue rock on a later shot to sit shot rock. Oh, they're looking at it quite intensively, actually. I don't think they know who shot rock. From here, it looked like very clearly yellow.
What's that?
Yeah, as you can hear them say, they believe it's blue.
I think so.
Yep.
Or maybe that was Saskatchewan talking.
Okay.
We don't have a good indication who is actually talking when we hear them.
I mean, if I just
And it might catch this
hit
one
it.
stop for 1 minute.
Could try to hit it with like a
with like board weight.
board weight, half a rock,
Oh, you need more than board because this one we need to go out. Like it has to. Like,
third of a rock type thing.
Yeah, the nice thing is they do have a bit of insurance there with that blue that's back 4.
Yeah.
And that if they ever do hit their yellow, it's kind of just going to be stopped and locked by that
Yeah.
other rock.
It doesn't give us. Yeah.
Could throw a bit of
what
weight at
happens.
it. Try to see. Oh, you don't have very much.
You might even be able to
Though.
take
Can't
it.
see a lot of that blue from here.
A little bit more, I think.
And they can make it better. I'm not in love with this call. It doesn't look like a very big port from this angle, and it's a very easy shot for Saskatchewan to come down and kind of just tap that to a position where it's virtually impossible for you to score.
And we might see a last attempt to angle raise that tight yellow guard into the 4 foot and see if they can
Yep.
smash some things around and get a point or two.
Yeah, and as mentioned earlier, I already gave a shout out to Melanie, and so I guess we're going back to the lead. Brina wants to do a shout out to her parent watching and her husband John.
Okay. Super.
Looks pretty close. Maybe not for weight, but line looks close.
That just made a very sudden move.
Yeah.
It's slowing down.
Keep on this. Maybe they can bump the blue out of the way.
Yeah,
Keep going,
leave a
keep
hole.
going, keep going.
Okay,
I think that accomplishes something for them.
absolutely.
Shoot.
They move that blue guard
I got-
over enough that it
Try.
complicates the Saskatchewan shot, so they can't play the same path
I don't
to
really
promote
wanna-
their blue.
Well, you can't.
I guess if it gets to here, Nicole, whatever.
Well, you don't want to
Still
sit
not
here
entirely
though,
sure who is
because that
shot.
sets up a double.
It's hard. From our angle
Okay.
back here,
So we can come to
It
here.
looks like
This
yellow
is a
all
good
day.
shot. But or
I
if you
agree.
sit here.
yep.
Or
See if we can listen in and hear what the
Nope. So you
back
either
end of
gotta
Saskatchewan's
here
saying here.
or here.
I agree with Froelich. If corner frozen on your own blue is good
Okay.
here.
We'll go for top 12.
You'd be bare
Okay.
enough. There wouldn't be a double,
A little
Where do you
less.
want? Here.
but you don't
It
have to
really-
be there
it-
realistically.
Girls, what did you give me to come in?
Oh, I don't remember. I've been giving you guys, like, not quite here. I've been giving you out a little bit.
Okay, so here.
Okay.
So I think they've just elected to plug this hole in one way or another. They do want to make sure that their rock is buried, so they don't leave a double takeout and an out.
We can't corner
for Team
freeze
Northern
and we can't be
Ontario.
right beside ours. Yeah, I think it's
I
really hard
think
to
it
get
would
the
be
pin
hard
from here,
to
so
Get through that hole and not
top
end
12,
up
yeah, 3-4.
buried enough.
I agree.
they
Part
would
of
have
your
a
rock is
double.
absolutely going to be buried. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess if you were tight to the blue and you end up throwing like back 8 and you kind of spun for like a crotch double.
Bird, it needs to curl. Whoa, guys, we're on yellow.
Saskatchewan making use of the outside sweeper to help curl.
Hey, now, go.
There it goes.
Line is good.
Go.
Looks pretty light, but it's
Hey,
what she
over and
wants.
off.
Yep, all
Just
she
wants
needs to do is
something
block that
to
hole.
block
Over
that
and
hole.
off. Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And Saskatchewan's not going to have a lot, or they're not going to have anything easy here for their 2 or their 1. Still not quite sure.
I don't think we can hit the yellow one.
She could throw like a
if we
soft
do
weight
that
hit
back
on her
and
7
play
rock,
back
the
here,
rock
this
she
is gonna
previously
stop
threw and
it.
trying to angle raise it.
If
Yeah.
we are pushing it back,
Um,
And there's not
there
a
is
ton
a-
of risk in that.
I can't
that's the
quite
only
tell if
thing
the
that-
angle's bad that she could send it through
are they
the
shot?
hole and pick her yellow off the back. But again, they're not quite sure who shot rock, which is very important here. If they think it's them, they could throw the rock away and just take their 1. If they make a play and do something to touch that blue, they could be giving up a point here. They're not sure.
Look, look, look. Yep.
They're going to call in the eyes of the team.
Yeah.
Get Nicole in there, have a look. Every team kind of has like an eagle, the person that you call in to
3/4.
come and take a look to see who shot rock or who's closer. Is this rock on the rings or not?
They will think if it's not close.
I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced it's
Yeah? So what do you want?
You hear Nicole say she's not convinced it's yellow, so
Let's do this. Okay.
thinking
we're
it's worth the shot. Don't want to give up a steal here. And I think this is fairly makeable. You hit 3/4 of this top yellow. You can almost nut it directly into that blue. It's going to move your own yellow, but with that blue there biting the back 4, it's not going very far.
Yeah, we talked about our insurance rock there earlier. Kind of a bit of a safety net. If they can make contact with that top blue, they should be in a position to score at least 1.
Yeah, if they nut it or anywhere low on the blue, then they should be good for 1, at least 1.
And we're kind of in an interesting situation here where earlier you suggested maybe they should have gotten rid of those center blue guards when they were kind of staggered. And I'm reminded of a famous phrase, you never regret peeling the guard.
Famous phrase.
Because now we find ourselves with, 4 rocks clouding up the button. 3 center guards and a rock top button.
Yeah.
And now we're playing sort of a very a low percentage shots, high risk shot for 1, maybe
Looks
2.
Close. Sweepers on and off. Going hard on now. Looks
These are the shots you
close.
live for. The line looks really good.
Oh.
Just missed.
Oh.
Very good
And
throw.
it did just narrowly miss that blue, and so we will find out who
We
shot.
should.
I imagine they will be calling him. There you go. And we'll take this moment to update around the rink. Manitoba, who opened with a blank and retained hammer, has now taken 2 on sheet 1. That is over Ontario and for first place in Pool A. Sheet 2, Nova Scotia got a deuce back, so they are now winning 2-1 without hammer against Newfoundland. Sheet 4, New Brunswick forced to 1, so that game is now tied. Quebec with the hammer. Sheet 5, Alberta with a steal of 1 over PEI. PEI retains the hammer, now trailing 1. And a blank on sheet 6. BC still up 1. Northwest Territories with the hammer.
What's that? Pretty stiff.
Okay, so we're just waiting for a measure to occur on our feature sheet today.
Yeah, all measures are done by the
Nicole,
Curl
thank
Canada
you guys,
Empires.
but
Nicole. You're Nicole?
Yeah.
You have a Nicole too. Because Nicole, who came
As
on,
they
she's like, "Lord said you could."
move the measure around the Travelers Insurance Canada rings.
Got quite a big swing on it.
Take this opportunity to mention some of the
Yes, she's the only
Saskatchewan
Nicole.
women's
The rest of us are
sponsors.
Christies.
They have a
Christy.
large
Yeah.
list of sponsors, and
That's why
clearly they have a
we all
lot of
have
support from their home communities, and that's just great to see.
One blue. Like,
Have the privilege to play in Saskatchewan a few times, and they're definitely great people who get behind the sport a lot. Every time there are lots of fans in the seats, and great place to play if you ever get the chance. Your title sponsor is DuPont, and then they have the Western AG Professional Agronomy, and then they play out the Twin Rivers Curling Club. They're sponsored again by Scott Campbell Dodge,
we're
the
out
Co-op,
there. Make it curls.
the Battlefords, Better Home and Gardens, Golden Eagle Casino, Sperling
Oh, there
Silver,
it comes.
Northern Lights Lodge,
There it goes. There it goes.
Country Cuisine, the Battlefords Therapeutic Massage,
There.
and Pennydale Junction, Vitality Acupuncture and Massage, Platinum Salon, and APL Massage Therapy. A lot of massages in there.
I mean, I can't think of a better place to go after a long week of curling in reality.
No. I didn't realize they were from that. I played in the Battlefords in North Battleford.
Oh, North Battleford.
Yeah, and I went to the Gold Eagle Lodge.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah, that's the casino in town.
Okay, we'll run the guard. Run
Okay.
the guard. Whoa. 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 Whoa.
Okay, so it was a steal of one for Team Saskatchewan. They were sitting shot rock there.
Yeah, it was a really good attempt there by Melanie. Very close to getting her too.
Tap that.
Yep. It's not biting the forefoot.
Here's okay.
Top to up, fine too.
So what we're seeing unravel here again is more play around that center guard. We did see a come-round attempt there, made by Team Northern Ontario.
It's still early, but I thought they would still throw the corner guard.
Yeah, or if you play the come-round, you're playing it tight, but that is
Okay.
so that the result misses in a
Just
tick.
a biter
And
is
so you end up
good.
with kind of two corner guards, and again, the button being more wide open. You're going to see Saskatchewan jump all over this and try and bury
Okay.
one around there.
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like this sheet of the ice, this out-turn side for our right-handed throwers, this right side, is a little bit slower. It hasn't been used as much. People are coming up a little bit short. We saw
No.
that a couple of times in end number 2. Northern Ontario is going to take this opportunity to kind of clean things up a bit, get rid of this blue rock.
Yeah. So you can see as Northern Ontario delivers there, all the Saskatchewan Rough Riders in the crowd behind our sheet.
Whoa.
A lot of support that's traveled here to Kingston.
Hurry, hurry. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually got a big
This looks
roll
really
here.
nice. Yep, no roll, no roll.
Nice
Nope.
shot, Brina.
Yeah, that's great.
That's a great shot.
Nice
Yep.
shot.
Taking control of that center. You recognize that play is forced around that center guard.
Great shot there by Brina.
You got to get there first, force the other
Yeah,
team
just
to
straight peel.
make some shots.
Nice call here by Christy.
Yes!
Yeah, Christy's calling them on.
Hard!
Christy is sweeping,
Clean.
and Christy
Clean.
threw her off.
Just clean.
We did hear the skip refer to one of the sweepers as Bird earlier, and there are in fact 3
That's a
Christies on this
9.
team.
Yeah. It's good to have nicknames in situations like that.
Yeah.
Well, Bird is a nickname.
Yeah, when
Last name.
I played in the Travelers Curling Club Championships last year with Team Ontario, and I had 2 Stapleses on my team. So normally I would call out someone's last name because it being just more unique than the
Yeah,
first.
line.
And
Hard for line. Very hard.
actually, they were father and son.
Hard for line.
That being David and Sandy Staples. And so, interestingly enough, Dave referred to his father as Sandy instead of like Dad Sweet, which was a lot of fun. I'm sure Sandy enjoyed that.
He said Dan sounded too similar to Graham.
Oh, interesting.
That's why we switched it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So again, and then evidence here with all the Christies around, and a Christine on Team Northern Ontario.
Yeah, and a little bit of a miss there, but not too bad. it worked out pretty well for them. They're
Northern
not a reasonable double. Like, it's quite thin. So Saskatchewan happy to hit one here. You got play in the house right now, which is good. Just make sure you save this. And it'd be great if you could end up a shot rock. Just a little roll in.
Yeah, and Northern Ontario is salivating right now, really. They've got the ring split. They're sitting 2. The only guard in play is a corner guard. If they can force play around that, you're going to see a deuce go up for Northern Ontario. They're quite content. It's open. It's clean. This is going to be a smart end. They're going to try and split this rock behind the corner guard and get the shooter way out. So there's no chance at a double. And they're going to try and ride that split ring setup out for the rest of the end. And if you get a mistake, maybe you put a second one behind that corner guard, and then all of a sudden there's a 3 on the table and tie game. It'll be really interesting to see what happens here.
Chris.
I never like splitting your own rock in the house.
It's
There's
risky.
very few opportunities where I agree that that's I would have liked to see them just go top 12 behind that blue guard.
Absolutely a correct call, yep. And so...
And, I mean, it's easy to say hindsight. That was a...
Yeah.
That's not the way you miss that.
I think what we
you
saw
miss
there...
That light, but
yeah,
I still don't like that.
What we saw there was an attempt to tick that and thinking... The thrower's thinking, oh, I need to throw more weight to get the tick and roll my shooter. And so they threw too much weight for the rock to stick around. And then you saw the miss there go through the paint. Whereas if they had thrown sort of back 12 weight, even if you miss that top 8 rock completely, you're still going to be sitting 2.
Bird.
Yeah, it's the same kind of mentality if you're trying to split a rock onto the rings. Worst thing you can do is miss a rock and your shooter goes through the house. You need to throw a weight that even if you don't make contact, you'll stick around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That is an absolute veteran move. Here's a really veteran move here. We're seeing Northern Ontario completely ignore that Saskatchewan Bluestone. It is not in play as far as they're concerned. They have their corner guard. They're going to put rocks behind it. They're going to generate their 2 that way.
Line sight! Where?
Line's good.
Yeah. Lions looking good right now.
Okay, whoa.
Let's see if we get... Okay, it's starting to curl now. You just got to bury a bit.
Yeah, Nicole going to finish it. Keep going. This is that path they learned quite well in the first end, and that's a great looking shot there.
Yeah. So it's going to be about half open for a right-handed thrower. But again, all you can do is force Saskatchewan to make shots, and if you get your mistake, then you get your 2.
Where I'm from.
Okay.
What was that?
It's called the third where I'm from.
The 3rd?
I said a third. Half a rock. You don't have half that shot.
I think from the left tack you do. The way it's curling off center line, you might as well be wide open.
Regardless of whether it's curling off center line, you don't have half that rock. Calling this one up. That's not what you want for this shot. Forward weight here. Bird being called on, trying to work it. And it looks like she's doing a good job. It's crossing line. It's going to be really close.
What you don't want to hear is paper ticket buried.
It's okay.
Okay. that
Okay,
is
she
fine.
got enough of that.
Yep.
That's okay.
We used to call that a kneel.
A
I
kneel.
had a guy on my team in Bantams. Just would do that an absurdly large amount of time where he would just touch a rock that wasn't buried and make it buried.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. It probably wasn't that much, but teenagers are cruel people.
Another catchphrase from an old coach of mine comes to mind, and that's piece out of your hand. If you have to eliminate a rock, you should have a piece of that rock out of your hand if you're throwing bigger weights. You know you're going to make contact. The difference there being that there is a guard in play. But because they waited so long for that rock to curl, they didn't quite get enough contact to remove it. So now we're seeing Northern Ontario split the rings, get their 2 rocks really far apart so there's no double takeout.
Yeah.
Alternatively, you could have thrown a rock around that corner again. Try to generate 3 that way.
Yeah, and I do like that call, but I'll play devil's advocate. If you go around that guard, say you make it nice, but you're just top 12, you nibble top 8 foot, and Saskatchewan makes a really good hit and roll behind it,
which they're trying now.
Then your end's over. Right now, she makes the hit and roll, and you still have that hack board waiter to follow it, hit it, and you still get your 2.
Yep, absolutely right.
If you only need 2, splitting the rings I think is a safer shot, but going around definitely brings 3 into play. Whereas now Christy will have 2 open hits to make to force Northern Ontario to their 1. Even if she rolls out here, she knows she's going to have an open hit on the side.
Yeah, sorry, Northern Ontario should get their 2 if this roll is not made.
Yep.
Bird down! Yep! Yes!
Pretty good. Frolic calling them on. Tight to the guard.
She's by.
They're going. Good sweep. Good sweep. Ooh. Nice brush by
Good sweep,
the
girl.
sweepers to get that by. Skipper might owe them a drink.
Yep, so Northern Ontario's decision very easy here. They just need to get a rock above the tee line. Behind that corner guard, just do not leave a hit and roll to be buried or a hit and roll to be frozen on your own yellow. That's the only way to lose the deuce right now. But they're ready to get their 2 right now.
I'll mention that a double, they also lose the deuce.
A double also would, yes. Let's see if we can get actually a stopwatch on this shot. See if we can get an idea on the speed of the ice for our listeners.
Yellow! Hard line!
Again, they're calling line here, and I don't know. In my opinion, what they're doing right now is making that rock move more aggressively towards that corner guard.
All the way, get it by, get it by.
Does look like it's by.
Go, keep
Yep.
going,
Oh,
keep
wow.
going, all the way. Oh, easy, easy, easy.
So I clocked that at a middle 14, so 14 and a half seconds. So it's very good speed, very consistent speed.
Yeah.
You want to go in out?
Yeah, we have to. That's gonna get in the way.
I know.
So that shot made very well, and you're seeing Saskatchewan
Lydia,
respond by just removing
About the same.
the Yellowstone that's wide
that's
open
too
and
much?
conceding
Yeah,
the
okay,
2
there.
Okay,
to Team Northern Ontario.
maybe a little down.
And as we
Okay,
mentioned before,
same
is
is good.
Christine had taken on that shot with her last.
Nice shot.
Put that rock there. And then Melanie followed it up with that same shot. Saskatchewan would be a lot of trouble. Be hard-pressed not to be giving up 3 right now. But 2 is huge here. Getting your safe 2, there's a lot to be said for that. It's a long game. And 2 is a good first step to coming back.
Absolutely. The game of curling is about increasing your chances of getting 2 and eliminating your opponent's chances of getting 2. So once you see Northern Ontario get their 2 here and get
Walker,
this game within
lead,
reach,
girl!
every move they make from now on should be about forcing Saskatchewan to 1 and then going to get a 2 again. That's how you get back to being tied
Good enough.
and putting yourself back in this game.
Yep, I agree. And good enough.
Yep.
Remove the rock. Main goal there. With a slight benefit if you could stay and hang on to the 8-foot, cut down the rings a little bit.
Yeah,
But
just shrink the...
she did just make a nice draw, so I expect her to make it again.
Yep, absolutely.
Melanie Patry delivers her final stone.
Okay, 8 foot. You need to be
Sweepers
8
like
foot.
it. They're on and off.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always a good sign when the sweepers
I
are
think you need to
lightly
go.
sweeping
I
it.
was just gonna
They're-
say as a
they're not
skip.
afraid to sweep it, but they don't think they need to sweep it hard. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And that's a nice looking shot.
absolutely. Yep.
Great throw there. Nice judge.
Draw. Make them
So
hit.
here 2 go up there for Team Northern Ontario.
All right, and we bring you around the house updates. Manitoba continuing good play on sheet 1 with a steal of 2 against Ontario. They now lead at 4-0.
Oh, it did not straighten it
Nova
out.
Scotia
It did
continuing
easy.
as well with a
We were
steal of
long
1,
ways. I had a
now
lot of
leading
daylight. A lot of
Newfoundland
daylight.
3-1.
Like, I thought for sure we were going
Sheet
to
4,
actually.
blank end. Quebec retains the hammer, 1-1 tie. PEI, good comeback after giving up a steal 1 to Alberta with the deuce of their own. They now lead at 2-1 without the hammer. And more blanks on sheet 6.
I said we had a lot of it.
BC up 1, Northwest Territories with the hammer.
Line's good.
Northern Ontario being called for the guard. And to be honest with you, I didn't actually see her
Mine's
call the call,
great.
but I assume she's calling a guard.
I mean, we just finished talking about how our goal now is to
Yeah.
eliminate Saskatchewan's chances to getting 2. We earlier discussed about
Nice
the
job,
best way to
Rita.
do that is to throw a corner guard, so why not throw a tight center?
And this is a smart Northern Ontario team. I don't expect them to be outskipped too much. This is their 3rd appearance here at the Travelers Curling Club Championship.
Get your
They were here once in the early days, and then the last time they had actually been here was 2011, so it's been a while since they've been back, but this is an experienced
Yep.
rink.
Yep.
line hard.
So we're seeing Saskatchewan
Go.
play the
Hard
come
line.
around of the center guard.
Yeah, and I like this call. You just gotta be careful not to go too deep or
Or too short, for that
too
matter.
short. Yeah, this is,
Okay.
I would argue, a little too short. You want that rock top 8, and exactly. Melanie knows that rock. You can bury around it, and you can probably get full buried around this kind of top 4, top button, and Saskatchewan's going to be in a bit of trouble. Yeah. But I do like that call. When you have a little bit of a lead, or even when it's a close game, your opponent throws up a center guard, you have the hammer, go around, try to bite top 4, full 8, try to get that control rock in place early.
Absolutely. And if
Yeah.
you're ever tight, you play the tick. And again, you,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
open up the middle.
And I think they did have really good line for that. She's just a couple of feet short.
Yep.
Hard, you got it. Very hard.
This looks good.
This looks
It's
really
close.
nice.
It's close.
Spy. Yep. Go,
Oh.
go, 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 go.
And that is a wonderful shot.
Yeah. They're punishing Saskatchewan for playing around a center guard right now.
Yeah.
And Saskatchewan has to follow.
Yeah.
Yep.
That being said, they are in good position if they make this freeze,
Mhm.
but a little uncomfortable early here for Saskatchewan. Nice looking throw by Bird.
Where are we? Hard. Hard. Go,
Cooper's
go,
going
go,
on
go,
it.
Go.
I believe I heard one of them call out 4.
Taking that blue is not bad. You're gonna give yourself 2 angle raises.
No, but you gotta move it far.
Gotta move it. Yep. I think
Okay.
mission accomplished for the most part in terms
Yeah.
of making the situation better for your team.
Yeah, I'd argue she only has 1 angle raise, but it's better. I agree.
Do you see all of this? Do you see more? You like this?
So this call by Skip Melanie Patry is again it's kind of its outcomes.
Yeah.
There's 2 outcomes really that they want. One is to again eliminate a bluestone. You cannot afford to give up a multiple score here because you're down.
Yep.
And they're also trying to keep their rock around the center line to junk it
Yep.
up a little bit.
That's good.
The risk being opening up that yellow now, which they have done. So you're going to see Saskatchewan make a play on it.
Yeah, and still calling the freeze, I think.
I think you need
thought
to get rid of
they-
that as soon as
Yeah,
possible.
I thought they might throw a hacker board weight at this. I think they have a good 1.5 inch.
Again, removing the center guard, pro miss for
Yep,
Saskatchewan. You
absolutely.
love that. You don't want that center guard there when the skip's throwing.
Yeah, you throw board weight here, you hit 1 inch of that center guard, you move it over for corner, and chances are you can get your shooter into the rings as well. And
Absolutely.
Then, it's a very uncomfortable situation for Northern Ontario.
Okay.
They're kind of making.
Bird
Go
going
if you
hard on
can.
this one.
Switch if you can.
Weight looks a lot more
Gotta
than
go.
the last
Gotta
one.
go.
Definitely bouncing it. What you
Yeah.
don't want to do is bounce off and leave another hit and roll behind the center. And I think they've done
That's
that.
okay.
Yeah, I was kind of confused about the sweeping there. I thought the agreed call was just a freeze.
Mm-hmm. They could have let that go a bit, maybe curl up and hit it a little bit thicker.
Even if you never really sweep it, they weren't in danger of wrecking the center.
No,
just
absolutely
kind of
not.
clean it from hog line in, let it nestle up beside it, and it's not a great situation for Northern Ontario.
Sometimes when I'm at a loss as to what shot to throw, I'll ask myself, if I was the other team, what would they want me to play? And
Yeah.
I think Northern Ontario would have wanted them to play that freeze
Yeah.
over the hit.
Okay, well, it's good.
Yeah.
Just
I
to
agree.
increase the number of rocks in play, increase the junk around the center line. Here's a 5th rock now that is touching, arguably touching the center line. So lots in play
Oh yeah.
here for Saskatchewan, whose goal was just probably to score. Northern Ontario's goal to steal or limit them to 1. Things are looking very busy right now.
Mm-hmm. Saskatchewan looking for the peel.
Come look at it. We got time.
So you just heard the skip, Christy Froelich, refer to having time.
Because this is jamming all
The
day.
teams are given 30 minutes of
Yeah.
thinking time to play their game, which means
Which do you like?
when there's not someone throwing, your team's time is ticking down. So they have lots of time now. They actually have almost a minute and a half more than Team Northern Ontario. They're sitting about 19 minutes. Northern Ontario just below 18.
Yep.
So they're going to take some time, discuss the shot here.
But I do like to open up our blue if we can.
Ooh, that's a smart comment. Opening up the center, reducing the risk for later on.
That's right.
And I drive that way. This one
Yeah,
might
you saw
spill over
Christy,
to
the
the
skip,
7.
Christy.
Even if it catches
Originally
the
looked at
7 a
hitting
bit
that
back,
close
yeah,
yellow.
I think the 7 catches the burl and hits my blue.
I think it does too.
Which I didn't like because it's going right into kind of that yellow-blue combination. But now they were looking at the high
We'll do
one.
this.
Yeah, I like that a lot better. It's a lot more good options for them. If you could hit a, what is it? Look like a TU West, a small half of this rock, a third of the rock, and kind of cross the face.
You could see 3 yellows just go exploding off the paint. You want to throw an absolute neutron bomb here. Yeah, hit this about a half a rock, a thin half, across the face, send the yellow straight back and hit the outside third, that blue that's top 8, sending it careening back into the yellow. All of a sudden you're sitting 2, and there's no rocks on the center line. You don't need to throw a huge amount of weight to make this. But
Okay,
what
I
you do
agree,
need to do is hit
you-
them in the
you-
right spot. Yeah.
You don't need a neutron bomb, but I agree. The angle's key here.
Yes, absolutely.
Moving both those yellows off the center is huge. Like Wes mentioned, you could get really fortunate here how you send this one back. Where that second yellow
This has a
kind
chance.
of comes back.
We need to sweep this.
Yeah, keep
Oh, they're letting it go a little bit. Not going to quite get across the face.
Go, go, go.
Okay.
Move some stuff off the center line, though.
That
That's very
actually
important
isn't
there.
I think that's all right.
Yep.
And it would be
You
nice
need to
if
do this
that
with the guard.
yellow would have rolled just a few inches more and opened up that
Whatever-
blue in the
whatever
top
guy
12 so they could promote that later in the end.
Yep.
Northern Ontario calling the guard here. I think I'd like to see them get a little more aggressive there, try a hit and roll kind of behind that other blue. Try to remove this rock that's just nibbling the top 4 there. It isn't a riskier call though, so I can't fault them for throwing the guard. Sweeper is thinking it's all there,
Never.
not wanting to lay a lick to it. And as we mentioned earlier, it's a good sign if your sweepers are just kind of lightly cleaning on and off.
At the end.
It's
Get
a
ready.
bad
Yep.
sign if your sweepers don't have their brooms anywhere close to the ice surface.
What was important on this guard
But that's
is
a great shot.
leaving that rock on
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
the inside of the blue. If it was on the outside of the blue, it's much easier to promote back and catch the blue so you can hit that into the yellow that's on the button.
Wow.
Yep, but play here. Because I want to hit this to here.
And so you just heard the indication of trying to make a play. That run back is short enough now that you can make a play to try and get that yellow off the button. Well, they're throwing a soft weight here. They're throwing back 8 weight. I'm not sure what the intention is here.
They're just trying to cross the nose of that yellow a little bit and just promote that blue into that yellow and just tap it off the button.
I think an alternative again is to throw some heat, get the center line open. Right now, you don't have a draw.
Yeah, and we've seen some nice
Looks hot.
hits from Nicole.
Yeah.
We'll play on over
This
onto
mice-
our blue. Yeah, she was
Okay. I mean,
12 and a half.
Didn't work
so-
out great.
that blue rock top 12 over on the right-hand side of our screen as we see it could be used for potential in-off situation later on.
We have a little bit left.
That would be for 3.
Yep. These players as elite club curlers, they are students of the game. They know the lore and the history of the game, you know. They know that Jennifer Jones made that in-off in 2004 to win the Scott Tournament of Hearts. So players recognize these shots.
If
They
it
see
comes
them
down to
unfold.
that, do you think Northern Ontario is just going to peel that rock out?
I mean, they might because they know about that history as well.
I
think
know
you
someone in Ottawa who'd recommend it.
I should be wearing my Jen Hanna jersey right now.
This
gonna be buried in that thing.
Nice shot.
Well,
I don't mind it. It's pretty good.
Okay.
so yeah, we're seeing
Ooh, calling the straight back
Christy
on the yellow
Froelich.
to pick it off.
Firm.
It would be
I like this
absolute
call.
game
There's
changer.
Exactly nose.
There's a couple ways to miss it, I think.
yeah, I think you can over curl it and it would still be a great shot if you're able to pick it off, pick off that top 12 yellow as well.
Yeah, opening
Just
up that
makes
center
that
line.
little yeah, well, it opens up that yellow completely in the back there.
Yep.
Bird.
Bird.
Hard.
Bird is the word.
Yep.
No.
Yeah, she's
she's
earning
doing
her
her
stripes
thing.
here.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate miss.
Didn't really open it up at all.
No, I think she removed her third shot rock, and to be honest with you, I think, yeah, she did. She covered enough of that blue, so
Yeah.
she took away her in-off as
My
well.
in-off dreams have ended.
Yeah. Jennifer Jones did not win the Scotties.
You think a little bit more ice now? Like they really
Next, a bit
cut.
more. It takes a while, I think,
Yeah.
to cross.
Okay.
Yeah, only shot
Yeah.
you're worried about right now here
Just
if
like on
you're
this side of
Northern
center,
Ontario
that's it.
that will take away your steal is that
Just
the yellow that's just sitting there right above the Travelers Insurance ER
Yep.
in the top 12. They have that run back still.
I mean, if I'm Northern Ontario, I love Saskatchewan playing that run back because if it over curls, they could kill their blue that's top 4 and give up a steal of $1 million. That's an incredibly risky shot. I think I want to leave that for Saskatchewan to throw.
Okay, so then are you thinking you get rid of this? Well, it's hard though because the only other shots they have
You're guarding
are
that
this.
rock. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right now.
Do you think Saskatchewan peels and tries to open up the scenario, and then they hope that they
Like, get
have
close. Yep.
this blue run back on the right-hand side?
Yeah, I've been eyeing that blue corner guard on the
Where is
right-hand
it?
side. If they can
It's
hit...
lined up
Yeah,
nice,
yeah,
and as
yeah,
long as you
yeah.
don't, like, if you play control way, you should be able to get your 2. And
Very low risk.
Yeah, it's unlikely that
Or
you,
they don't have anything
Oh,
else
I
to do.
love that. I mean, it
for Northern Ontario.
absolutely.
Yeah,
If-
yeah. you
Depending
can't
on
do
what
anything
happens
with those
here,
rocks.
Which one?
you could nose that
I
rock
think
she
that's
just
scary.
threw,
well,
the
you
shooter.
might not have nose.
You
only
hit as
have
much as you
3/4
can.
that rock.
Even if we only
You might
get
be
her
able,
to
excuse
here.
me, to redirect
So
that
yeah.
second yellow back straight onto the blue and sit 4 or
If I
5.
catch half?
That would be in huge trouble for Saskatchewan.
Looking at the double or the
Yeah.
Yeah, they're looking at the
I
hit
think
and
you gotta
roll
play
or
off
the
this.
double.
Okie dokie. I don't really see much else. Do you?
Yeah, I think I agree with this call. They want to leave that,
Yeah.
that angle run on the blue guard for later. That's your
Then I
last
gotta
shot.
be at my, like,
Although if you tried it now and missed it, you might open up that in-off
like
again
my-
for 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
10-3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine Saskatchewan would, sorry, Northern Ontario would hit that in-off rock and not leave it for them, I would hope. But
Or play the hit and roll in themselves and maybe sit 2.
yeah. Yeah, not a lot of risk in that. I can't see this doing much for them except adding another counter in there, making it just slightly riskier for Northern Ontario. I don't think you could ever get shot with this shot. I think you could spin to the kind of back 4. Looks out there right now.
Has some curling to do.
Bird being called on.
Hard bird.
That did not curl very much. This is running very straight.
All right, I'm really excited to see what
Give
Northern
up.
Ontario tries to do here.
Okay.
Are they going to go for the jugular and try and sit 3, or are they just going to block, clog it up and take their 1, tie this
I'm not
game?
convinced that hitting as much as you can see that yellow doesn't glance off the back of the one on the center line
okay.
and
Yep.
just send it back in the middle.
Yeah.
I'd love to see them just walk up and guard that,
That
blue
blue run
corner
back.
on the right side.
Yep.
I think that's the only rock hurting you right now.
Sure. Take your 1,
Yeah.
tie this game up. Forget about the first 2 ends.
Yep. Oh yeah, tied up situation's great.
Mhm.
I mean, if I'm playing devil advocates myself, you think you ever throw this out turn draw and get a little bit more of the forefoot than that blue rock does right now? Sit 2, put a ton of pressure on them.
I mean, the shot they're guarding right now is very difficult. You could
Is
do
it that difficult though?
Like a
It's
corner
half a
guard.
rock.
It's an unused portion of the sheet. I don't think they quite know where to put the broom over there yet. They haven't seen
We
a lot of hits
saw
come
one
down.
here almost, I guess we saw it half a foot over in the second end though. We saw,
Oh, that's
like
the
you
Northern
assume,
Ontario
like,
run back
yeah,
attempt.
yeah,
Yes.
Northern Ontario tried it. Saskatchewan, they were right over their shoulders. They were watching the line. I mean, you got to figure it's probably 50% on she makes it. That's not a a great feeling for Northern Ontario. 50% up. They give up 2.
Finish it hard, guys. Finish it hard. All the way up. Yep. Yep. Finish hard. Yep. Yep.
And you mentioned you believed in finishing with the
They're not.
outside sweeper. No, they're not. And
No, they're not
they
finishing.
left this shot.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna tap. I just won't play a big weight. Right?
Okay.
Don't do damage.
Yeah.
So
like not take out or anything.
What weight do you
so
think
if
you
I
need?
catch it here, you're
I
going
think you
straight.
need at least a solid board.
If you're going here,
let's listen to see
I
what
gotta-
they're saying here.
Sure.
To hit 2 rocks.
if we hit here, if you play back line,
Or back 8. I don't think we should go too heavy with it.
back line will get you right here.
Okay.
Bang, bang, bang.
Okay.
Don't
And
think
back line won't-
line with half a
won't hurt.
rock.
Back 12 I'll try
you
for.
score here.
Like there, you
Yeah.
think?
You've got to move
Okay.
3 rocks. You're going to lose a lot of energy
You're
hitting those
hitting
3
that.
rocks.
Yeah, you're hitting a half a rock on the first one.
Yep.
Thin half.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
And
No,
yeah.
like back 12, back 8.
Yeah,
Back
I
12,
don't.
back
Okay.
8. You're not. I don't think you're scoring
Say we
here.
just don't
I heard them
try,
say
but
we don't want to play a
do
lot of
any
rate and
damage.
hurt ourselves, but I don't
I
think
agree.
you can hurt yourself playing like board weight.
I
You're just
thought-
going to kind of clink them around. You're not going to remove both of your blues by throwing board
Exactly.
weight.
Both your blues have to go out of
Yeah.
play.
Yes,
I thought you
Walter.
wanted more than board here.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted solid board.
I agree completely.
No.
So this is late. It's over curling, just like we
Oh.
saw happen in Northern Ontario in number 2.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And I think
One yellow?
Saskatchewan just got caught there a little bit on. You lose a lot
I
of weight
wobbled.
when you hit only a portion of a
You
rock.
probably heard my knee hit the ice.
I really think board was the minimum weight that you could throw and still make that shot.
No risk. Absolutely no risk with board.
No, and I think board makes it tough to score as well. Like you have to hit it perfectly.
Yeah. So we've got our
You
4th end
probably
break
could
here.
have thrown solid board.
Oh, okay.
All right, and our teams are taking the 4th end break. Just want to give a shout out to Travelers Insurance. Yeah, I have home insurance through them. Always been satisfied. I recommend to all my friends.
It's better under the umbrella.
Way better. You want to be wet in
When I grow up, I want to be a superhero. I want to be a firefighter. I want to graduate university. I don't know what I want to be. I want to be an archaeologist. I want to be a scientist. Pilot, coach, carpenter. I'm going to be a curling champion.
Kids dream big. Your support will help them realize their dreams on and off the ice.
I learned to curl when I was 13. I remember how excited I was to go to the club. It always felt special. Because of the game, because it was a place where it didn't matter your age or background. I've visited clubs right across this country, in small towns and in big. It's always the same feeling. The feeling that you're at the heart of a community. Because a curling club is a community. A community of millions of Canadians from coast to coast to coast. Where thousands of children get their start. Where veterans, Olympians, Paralympians, and youth battle for glory, one weekend at a time. Where local really means down the street and around the bend. And the positive effect on Canada is not only economic, but social and cultural. Curling always felt special to me. Because it is special.
In 1,000 curling clubs across this country, curling invites Canadians to connect and inspires communities to grow. Pride, community, growth. Let's grow together. Invest in the sport and community that you love. Donate today.
And we're back. Northern Ontario, to recap, with the steal. Now tied without the hammer in the fifth end. In this situation, Northern Ontario is looking to force their opponent to only take one, so that they can have the hammer in 6. And assumably, if you have the hammer in 6, chances are you also have it in 8. Being only down 1 with 2 hammers to your opponent's 1 is a good position to be in.
Absolutely. I think it was Kevin Martin really coined that phrase, like hammer and evens, really important. A lead on my competitive curling team, Jeff Grant, always looks at me, even if we've given up points in an odd end, be like, hey Wes, guess what? Hammer and evens, because it's worth so much having that hammer in the 8th end.
I'll give Jeff credit for that. I like him more than Kevin Martin.
I like Jeff a lot too.
Oh.
We should actually do some sheet updates here. On sheet 1, Manitoba just really steamrolling over on Team Ontario right now. They really want that first place finish in the pool to get the bye of the semi up. They're up 5-0. And in the 5th end, Ontario obviously with the hammer there.
Yeah.
Nova Scotia also in a must-win situation over Newfoundland and Labrador. They're up 3-1 without the hammer in the 5th end. They also need a win from Quebec.
And Quebec in a tight game right now, but they are tied with the hammer. And there's probably 10 rocks in the 4-foot and 8-foot.
I was just going to say, there's a lot going on over there.
Sheet 4 right now.
Alberta PEI, the winner of that game, also potential to finish first. PEI needs some help from BC. BC winning over on sheet 6 over Northwest Territories right now, 2-0. Alberta and PEI game down. Sorry, Alberta's down 1-2.
And to clarify, PEI needs help from BC, like they need them to fall over for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
pretty
looking
much
for a BC loss.
Nice shot.
Yep, nice shot by Patman there. Little room for a hit and roll in, but got to play fairly close to the guard.
Yeah, so you talked about it earlier about what Northern Ontario's goal here was to force Team Saskatchewan to 1 point. I think, again, business as usual, really.
Yeah.
As it was in the 4th end, where they were trying to, again, force play to the center.
Okay, mark where that one was.
Oh, it's not going to relieve play.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's actually not bad, because you've eliminated a guard. You have the team with the hammer in a time where it's the free guard zone. You know,
I would argue it's neutral. You removed your own center guard for an opponent's center guard, and you removed a corner guard.
Yep.
But I agree with the 2 guards.
But wait, what's Saskatchewan's goal here? Their goal is not to score 2. Their goal is to blank the end, to have hammer and evens. We just talked about how having hammer and evens was really important.
Yeah. It's true.
What you don't want to be is looking at 3 Northern Ontario stones.
It's starting. Huh? Just all the words out of my mouth. Looks heavy, though.
A little bit. It should stop back 8, back 4.
Looking for a nice hit and roll here.
Yeah, just trying to eliminate the number of Northern Ontario stones that they're facing right now. Clean it up a little bit. Make a good shot here. Force Northern Ontario to make something back.
Whoa!
If you ever get a miss, you can open it up. Maybe get that blank alive or
Nick.
set up that deuce.
I would also argue that this rock is not the rock that's hurting you right now. It's that center guard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Staying there is big, though.
Absolutely. You cannot roll out.
Big, yeah. Big decision here by Northern Ontario. They're choosing to hit this.
I think they have to address this rock as the team without the hammer. You cannot give up a big end here. You could go around the center guard. Absolutely. That's not the wrong call. It's super aggressive.
I like going around it. Looks very close.
This is a nice shot.
Yeah.
Again, if Northern Ontario's goal is to force, they're going to also try to just split the rings and make Saskatchewan draw for 1.
At a certain point, though, Saskatchewan is going to play around this guard.
We're seeing it happen right now.
If they make a good one, there's nothing really stopping them from getting there, too. One good shot there. The best Northern Ontario kind of does is freeze and hopefully set themselves up for removing it and a slight tap later in the end.
See a long line of good shot making.
But a good shot here sets them up for a draw to kind of the full 4 or the button for their 2 later in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, little line.
You just saw Christy Walker there.
Hard line.
Christy
Hard
going on the
line.
sweeping.
Where are we?
Christy calling line.
Hard line. Hard line.
And I will mention out of the 3 Christies, they all have different spelling.
Just need some help from the sweepers. They're definitely by the guard.
Christy's got that.
I want to put this in a good spot. It's a little heavy. They're going to
keep
bounce
going,
the back
keep going, and yeah. We mentioned that earlier about going, keeping on a rock and using what's there for backing. I believe Northern Ontario made the mistake of that in the first end. That was a good example of staying on it, past the guard, and making sure you hit a good chunk of that backing rock so you stay shot.
Absolutely.
But
so we're seeing
good opportunity here for Dubuque.
So you just finished saying that Northern Ontario needs to follow this up with a freeze now to sort of force Saskatchewan to that force to 1.
Nicole sweeping to try and make this one curl, but it looks
a little wide, a little heavy.
Yeah, don't think she can save it.
I don't think they're going to make contact with the blue.
Nicole is in great shape. She was actually a fitness counselor for many, many years, and I'm not entirely sure, but she might still be for the high performance junior camps in Ontario.
Yeah, there was 1 year.
Trillium and Amethyst.
Yeah, these are youth programs in Ontario for elite youth curlers to go and hone their craft and learn from elite level coaches. Yeah, Nicole was kind enough to donate her time to help out with those, with her fitness knowledge.
Do you think she donated?
I mean, you get paid for the work, but I still think you have to have a love of the game to go and spend a week
Oh,
there
I
in
agree.
July.
And Nicole was good at what she did. She gave lots of
Or are
good
we
tips.
just a 6?
Many of them I still use today. I went.
Well, no, we're on
I think
the
I went for
already.
6 years
Oh my.
combined, both of them, and then a counselor for 1.
Bird.
I never was able to attend as a curler, but I did go in and was an assistant with the coaches there.
Yeah.
Very good experience for anyone thinking about doing it. Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're thinking about spending your parents' money, it's worth it.
So what we saw there was another attempt for Saskatchewan to, again, set up their 2 points around a center guard. They were a little bit heavy. They've created a little pocket at the back.
It's so pretty nice.
Yeah, Northern
It
Ontario.
worked out fortunately for them.
Northern Ontario is pretty happy now with that result. So it's always an interesting scenario when both teams are happy. Because if they get this rock in a good place on the tee line, it's really tough to remove with all the backing there.
Yep, it's true. But you say they are on the tee line, kind of half buried.
Yep.
Saskatchewan can follow them with kind of that back eight, bump them, remove their own backing, and now sitting there, kind of top button. That's not a bad shot, though. That's very, very usable for Northern Ontario at this point.
Yeah, Northern Ontario's goal of shrinking the rings and closing off the forefoot has not changed. No, it won't change.
No.
They have 2 draws, and they now have a tap on that yellow that was just thrown to try and promote a rock to the button, shrink the rings, maybe even set up a steal.
This is a risky call here for Saskatchewan. I get the kind of the instinct to kind of run. You've got your 2. You're locked pretty well. And blocking this in-turn path and that tap is hard. But you also have to look at this out-turn that Northern Ontario has. They can easily get to the button there.
I want to
And
block
then
this one. Corner
you're very
freeze on
much
there
in
if you
danger
want.
of getting up
Nope,
another
nope.
steal.
Okay, whoa. Just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. Just leave it. It's fine.
Okay, they've successfully nullified the tap back there by kind of corner staggering.
Yeah, I would argue she still has the in-turn draw. She still has the out-turn draw.
Yep.
I don't think that was...
We're seeing the out-turn draw indicated.
It was a risky call. But Northern Ontario only really has this one shot, though.
Yeah, and I think Saskatchewan's happy with this because we commented earlier that seems to be a bit of fear with throwing this out-turn path. No one has thrown this shot. So Saskatchewan's they should have their clocks out ready to see how this path runs in the event that they have to throw it later. I've got my clock out. So we're trying to get a long time for our followers and see if this path is any different.
Ideally, you get this right on the tee line with a good chunk of the button. And I'm not sure how Saskatchewan responds.
Stay close. Yeah.
You need back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard line. Hard.
He's just going really hard on it. Cole really leaning on it.
Split them.
Okay.
Yeah.
That tapped rock can be used later to be raised into the button, for sure.
Yeah, but that is a hard miss.
Here is fine.
Yeah.
If Saskatchewan can make this come around nice, kind of bite the top button.
Yep, half buried.
Yeah, get half around that top yellow.
Yeah, you're threatening a 3.
Yeah, and it really curled.
Oh, at least.
Probably
Northern Ontario almost
Walker
has to
can
play
make
the
it finish.
hit on that back one to concede the 3.
No, we don't. No. Full 8 foot's fine.
Yeah, that's a
I
really
think you
smart
wanna be
comment.
shot.
I think that's a smart comment. I think if you full 8, you've set up yourself that sort of tap for 3. If you go too deep here,
If you're full 8, don't they just pick the back one and then you're forced to 2? I mean, forced to 2. I mean, 2 is great.
I mean, if you're
Well,
full
think
8,
this is
I
a
think you're
very
edge on edge with
good
that back blue.
opportunity right now. Yeah, they just pick it. Even if you're edge on the blue, they can see half it.
I think you're going to see a little. I think you're going to see Northern Ontario play that in-turn tap. I don't think they're going to just
on the
sit
one
and
they
wait.
just tapped over there. So
Yeah, I think so.
Needs to curl. Switch.
It's out there right now.
It's moving.
Working it.
Hard Walker.
Yep. Line's going to be fine. It's just a question of weight right now.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Looks really good, yep.
No,
they definitely need to be full 8.
Good
It's
sweep,
somewhat
girls.
short.
Who is second shot here? I haven't heard a definite answer from any of the players.
Yeah, and I
Just a
can't.
raise. It's not a hit even, just a raise.
Yep. So now we're seeing that tap
Yeah.
back called.
Very smart call there from
So we're
Melanie.
shooting
You
like
don't
that,
need to
eh?
play this for weight.
Nope.
You can just play kind of back 4, back 8 weight here. You don't want to get cute and throw T-line and then you leave it short. Throw back 8 here. You have several things you can kind of glance off of.
Yeah, you don't want to miss
You
this
can
one
hit this
because
thin.
you're light. That'd be heartbreaking.
Yeah.
There's really no way to miss this heavy because you've got so much backing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melanie, a high school teacher, looks to deliver her first skip stone.
Just a tad more, Chris.
First, second.
Yeah, this is her last rock.
This is
yep.
her last rock.
Yeah, she wants to get a rock on the button, make Saskatchewan make something good to here to score. Again, this has all been possible because they forced play to the middle. If she makes this tap, Saskatchewan is going to be hard-pressed to score, let alone score a multiple end.
No, wait for it.
Line
If all
looks
this
pretty
play,
good on this.
Whoa. No line. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. Yeah,
they need to
keep
sweep.
going
This
that.
is curling. Okay, this needs to curl a bit now.
And again,
It's a
with
question of
Nicole
weight.
on the outside.
Hard, girls, hard, you
It's a little down. They're going to
Yeah.
overcurl as well. They could.
A little light there. A little light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I just got
But-
to bump that.
Yeah, you
right
do.
to here.
Yep.
Straight back.
Yep.
Back 4, back 8.
Okay, so you probably hit here.
Yeah, I'm still guessing
you're up
who
there.
is
So if we
second
go
shot here. I
here?
thought it was blue.
They're talking
early.
as if it's blue. I think they're afraid to
Wait, so I gotta move it.
bump it
Quite
too
a ways.
far.
And we have this is backing.
Gotta have here.
Oh, maybe not.
They
Gotta
said
have
they have it as
like
backing, so you assume if
It's
it's
not shot.
backing, then blue's got to be one here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue is probably just sitting in the one.
This Northern Ontario team, Melanie, Nicole, and Christine, have actually been playing together for over 20 years.
Wow.
That's impressive when you're only 23, 24.
Uh-huh. Okay, let's see if Team Saskatchewan has figured out this outturn side of the sheet here. Seen a couple over curls, couple come up light.
Yeah, that was a nice looking delivery. They're calling it
Sweepers.
up back line, but that should work. Back line should be a nice weight here. She
Yep,
has some
that's what
options.
you want to throw.
Trying to carve it in here.
Go!
Looks close.
Line's perfect.
Looks real good.
Line's perfect. Shot made. You can hear the cheers from
Beautiful
downstairs.
shot there.
Yeah.
I don't think.
There's no
Two
question
blues?
now. That's just 2 blue. Yeah.
Great shot there by
Yeah, it's
Christy.
too blue. This one's on the red.
Yeah. And that's a big
I
2
think
there.
it's really worth a second shot.
Kind of
Like, it was
messy in
close.
there.
At the back.
Like Northern Ontario wanted, but Saskatchewan was able to capitalize, and now they take a 2-point lead going into 6.
I would have been measuring. Like I would have been measuring.
As we go around the rings to give some updates, sheet 1, Manitoba again, stealing for the 3rd end in a row. Steal 1, lead 6-0 on Ontario, and not looking good from the hometown province. Looking like they're going to have to settle for second in the pool and be pushed down to that quarterfinal. Undefeated up into this point, but not looking strong. Nova Scotia, another steal as well.
Very important steal.
Yeah, they are 4-1 on Newfoundland.
Remember, Nova Scotia needs this win, and they need a little bit of help from Quebec,
And they
who very
got-
excitingly.
Yeah, they got more than a little bit of help.
Yeah.
Quebec with a 4 spot. We mentioned how they had almost every rock in play up until Vice's rocks, hanging around in the 4-foot and the 8-foot. Quebec be able to
weight sure came
capitalize
off
on
that
some
one to
good
curl,
angles and
eh?
getting a 4 spot there. They
Team-
now lead that 5-1 without hammer.
Team Quebec actually came up to me before the game. They said, Wes, like, you guys won this thing last year. Do you have any advice for us to win this game? We need to win to make it into the playoffs. And I was like, there's a clue for you, Ed, on the sheet. There's a rock. Our club had a sponsorship initiative a couple of years ago where we were allowed to put things on the rocks in our names. And I have a rock down there that says, you never regret peeling the guard. And in that end, they took 4. You know, they had the hammer. There was no guards in play, but there was lots of rocks in the rings, and they had full sight. They could do whatever they wanted in the rings and always know they have that draw the button, so they took a lot of risks, and they were completely rewarded with a big 4-point end there.
Oh, yeah, you're always happy playing in the rings when you don't have hammer.
Absolutely.
Well, no, it's going to be good. That's good.
And we go to sheet 5.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
Alberta took their 2 back in 5, and then PI was forced to 1 in 6. So now it's actually in the 7th end. They're a little ahead of us. And Alberta is tied with hammer in a pretty good situation. First, Lee's rock by PI slipped in the rings. So looking pretty good for an Alberta blank right now.
Hard, never off.
And BC and Northwest Territories. Northwest Territories with a big 2 points.
Threw at the rock.
Now tied 2-2.
And remember, if PEI is to win their game over Alberta and Northwest Territories is to dethrone BC, PEI would finish first in the pool, getting that all-important bye to the semifinal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now
we just saw a little bit tight on the broom by the Saskatchewan lead bird there. So a little bit, we had a flash, and now we're going to see Northern Ontario try to guard this rock.
Interesting to see that high blue center guard. I didn't see the call But with the 2-point lead, you think Saskatchewan would try to play into the rings there?
You don't think so?
You don't really need to steal here. You're pretty happy giving Northern Ontario 1 point, and then all you need to do is score in the 7th, and then you've got a 2-point lead in 8.
Yeah.
We saw a corner guard thrown there for Team Northern Ontario. They're just trying to, again, protect their stone. That's top 12 there in the Canada part of travelerscanada.ca. Mission accomplished, I believe. It's partially buried. Oh, maybe it's open. But you're seeing Saskatchewan ignore.
I think, yeah, like 2/3 of it. Which I thought they might try to chase it. Being up 2, like you said.
What is the call here? To draw through the port to the button?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Interesting. You can see all of that yellow rock. I think you...
I don't think you have all of it. I think you have 2/3 of it.
Okay, we're
and if you're playing board weight, even if you're racked on that top yellow, move it over to center guard. It's not the end of the world.
Go.
That being said, this is a nice looking shot.
Absolutely, that's a great shot. Again, if your goal here is to steal.
Nice share there by Christy Walker.
I'm worried about that shot because you're going to give Northern Ontario an opportunity to hit and roll behind that corner and sit 2.
Yeah, I thought that curled more than it did. I didn't realize she could see so much of that rock.
Yeah,
still.
I think if you're
Nicole,
Saskatchewan,
who's throwing this inter hit very well this game. Gets down nice and low, kind of gets down, kind of feathers out a little bit, so it runs kind of nice for her. Looks out right now. Surprised they're curling it. Sorry, surprised they're sweeping it. There you go.
She doesn't have contact quite yet.
I think she got a little bit.
Not enough to remove it though.
Yeah.
Still remove the danger rock from the danger spot, like the control zone. You might hear us refer to the control zone or the control box, and that's the area sort of just above the forefoot, the top of the forefoot, extending about 2 feet above the rings. If you can imagine going from the L in Travelers to the A in Canada, that box is kind of where you want your rocks to be, and not your opponents. You're said to be in control if you own that area.
Yeah.
That's right now. No one owns it, but Northern Ontario did just remove control from Saskatchewan.
And Saskatchewan looking to get it back. Yep. This is moving. Sweeper's calling us a little up.
Line looks okay to be buried.
It looks a little heavy. Yeah, it looks a lot to me.
I can't hear you. Okay. So you'll have to use the... Yeah, I couldn't hear you.
The Saskatchewan skip there mentioning they couldn't hear the weight calls that the front end was yelling out. And that's honestly typical of this building and these style of buildings. We have kind of the A-frame classic roof here in Ontario. You get these wooden buildings with these old roofs, and it really echoes in places like this. And you have to be quite loud as a skip and also as a sweeper, because it's very important that your skip knows which way's coming down. Nice looking shot there. Didn't quite roll enough to get behind the guard. But can leave it a tricky shot here through the hole.
What is the goal of both teams right now? Saskatchewan is hitting this rock.
Ontario wants to get 2.
Absolutely they do.
Yeah, they want to get
score
2
multiple,
or more.
I think we could say. They want to score multiple.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tie this game up.
Saskatchewan wants them to force them to 1. Blank is great for Saskatchewan.
Whoa. Walker.
Steal if that happened for some reason. They're definitely not going to push the agenda, try to force a steal. They're not going to play with any risk. If there's a yellow they can hit, they're going to hit it. Yeah. As you can see the Rough Rider fans there. Nice to see the fan base make the journey out.
Yeah, so Northern Ontario electing to hit the higher rock now. They know that they can hit and roll on top of the other blue. And again, get that insurance back that if this stone, when it comes to rest, is ever hit, could jam on that back blue rock and set up the multiple point score. There's a little help from the sweepers.
Nicole and Brina being called on early. Going the whole way. Attempt to save it. Ooh.
Good sweep, girls.
Yeah, it was a good sweep, but not quite enough to hold it. Ooh, and I am surprised. I had mentioned not less than 30 seconds ago, if there was a yellow they could hit it, and they motioned to draw around the center guard.
We're jamming. Let's go.
And as I
This
say
way.
that, they walk
We're jamming on
over.
ours, if I missed that.
Oh. All right, they're playing the guard. I think this is
Yeah.
a good
That's a
opportunity for Northern Ontario.
Sorry, what was the indication here?
They're drawing around.
Okay.
Yeah, they're ignoring a rock they can see 2/3 of with a high guard.
Are they worried about jamming it on the back blue? This rock looks very heavy.
I'm not sure if they're worried about jamming it or there's the fact that they can't see a lot of it and they're worried about wrecking on the corner guard.
We're right on this one. Nice.
I mean, wrecking on the
Nice.
corner guard isn't the end of the day because then the center, even if, again, if yellow were to sit
No.
8 or sit 7 around the corner guard, they always have, they can always loop one around their double centered situation if they tapped it over.
Maybe a quarter.
I'd like to see them come around with kind of back line weight here. Try to get a hair low of the nose and just tap that one blue out and sit right on. The most important thing with this shot is for your shooter to stay right on top of that first blue that you hit.
Yes.
So it's impossible to remove. You definitely don't want to worry about kicking the blue farther or being shot 2. You're worried about being shot 1 and making sure that this rock cannot be removed. Nicole and Bird being called on again. Tight to the guard.
Line's
Going
really
hard
good.
to get by. Ooh, that was close.
This is a really nice shot. And you can
That
see
is-
exactly
yeah.
what Dave said. They've kept that blue there,
Yeah.
and that yellow is not going anywhere.
Yeah, now it becomes a very dangerous situation for Saskatchewan.
Nice
We're hoping that our commentary today is understandable and helpful for the club curler out there, the club curler in all of us. We're all elite club curlers that just want to learn more about the game, and I just want to give a shout out to some club curlers that are watching right now. Andrew Labai and Melissa Kerr have been communicating with me throughout the game, and they're just looking to hear what are the options available whenever a given shot is thrown, and that's kind of what our goal is here today.
Andrew and Melissa play with Wes in a couple leagues.
Yeah, we used to play our mixed Friday league together.
Yeah, are you curling together this year?
No, not anymore.
I'll give a shout out to my club curler, Sarah Prest, who may or may not live in. Also my wife.
Yeah.
Bird really going, leaning on this, trying to get
Line's
by.
good.
I think she's got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a question of weight right now.
Yeah. Not able to drag it far enough. Bird and Walker are good sweepers, but just a little bit too light there by the skipper to carry it far enough.
No, you're right. It's all good. You can come around here and draw. Yeah. Yeah.
And we have our first final of the night. Manitoba continuing on the steal train. Steal of 2 against Ontario. So they take first place in their pool, and they will go directly to the semifinals, and they'll await the winner of the 3rd place from their own pool and the 2nd place from Pool A.
I believe that is correct, yeah.
Yeah. Which is all up in the air still.
Absolutely.
And possibly depend on tiebreakers.
Given the Quebec situation
Yeah.
and with Nova Scotia.
Yeah, but they got to be
leading right
pretty
now.
happy.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. You've thrown the unbeaten Ontario in dramatic fashion. Yeah.
Yeah, really just,
You love to
dominating
have a
out there.
win like that going into playoffs too. Got to give you a lot of confidence as a team.
Yeah. Confidence scaring off the opposition. Oh, did you just see Manitoba just destroyed Ontario on sheet 1? They must be playing really well.
This needs to curl.
A little heavy again. Short here would have played.
Yeah, absolutely.
Roll it away.
Okay. Saskatchewan being given another opportunity here to make this freeze first.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. They
Would
know.
love to be top
Even if
4
you're up
there.
there, it's okay.
Just take a bit more.
Yeah.
So that one.
Yep.
Okay.
Even a little light, you got something to run in a little bit later. You've got some options, but just a little bit too deep.
We took a bit more ice.
Your sweepers can drag it farther, but they cannot slow it down, and that's important to remember.
Okay. It's the 6th end. My legs are tired.
This event is a marathon. We just heard the skip of Team Saskatchewan, Christy Froelich, comment on how her legs are tired. And it's the last game on the round robin.
Oh yeah, there's very few week-long competitions that anybody plays in, let alone the average club curler.
Yeah.
Which these people are not. These are elite club curlers.
Absolutely, yeah.
But a week-long competition is long, and they're very rare and far between. Yeah.
This rock coming up a bit short.
Yeah.
Okay, Northern Ontario.
Saskatchewan should have this intern draw through the port for 2.
So we either draw here.
Yeah. They're talking about the outturn through the port. They don't think the intern's there.
Not like this. So we
No,
can
they don't
either
like it.
come in through here. Whatever you think, Mel.
Yeah.
The advantage in drawing towards the button is that you have the full rings really to hit. When you're throwing away, especially given where that back 4 blue rock is, they can run out of space actually to be second shot when they're throwing this stone. So they have to be very careful about their line. The intern, it almost looks like you could draw right down to your yellow and even tap it with hack weight and get 4. It's incredibly risky. I think you're just drawing for 2 here. But from our angle, it definitely looks possible.
Yeah, it's tempting, and
you want your 2 here. You got your 2. Take your 2.
Yeah.
Reset.
2's great, but yeah, if it almost is edge on edge with that black blue. Sorry, with that blue center guard.
Yeah, it's definitely. I think it's possible.
And it does curl.
It does curl when it crosses center.
If they don't think the intern draw is there because it curls too much,
it means that the tap is there.
The intern tap is there.
Is there? Yeah.
Line's
And
perfect, all you guys. All you
given,
guys.
like you said, if you throw hack weight.
Yeah, hard. Well. No.
Okay, it looks a little heavy.
Yeah, I
Sweepers
agree.
need to back off here.
Oh.
Gotta stop. Gotta stop. Gotta stop.
Go next. Go next.
Great
go,
shot.
Go, go, go.
Absolutely.
Well judged.
Perfection.
Nice shot.
Yeah. And that's a big 2.
Really nice
That's an
draw.
important shot by the skipper there.
Yeah.
Great shot by Melanie Patry there.
Having that draw weight in your back pocket is just incredibly important.
Oh, yeah.
If you can draw the 8-foot.
One of my favorite quotes is, if you can't draw, you can't skip.
If you can't draw, you can't skip. I think I agree with that.
Every time I'm playing with a guy and he elects to hit against 2 instead of, and they're in the 8-foot instead of draw. I like to mutter under my breath, if you can't draw, you can't skip.
Like BT dubs, let me throw this rock.
No, I can't draw. They're really hard. But I don't skip.
Yeah, well, we're watching Melanie Patry call this first rock of the 7th end. The whole Patry team would like to thank all the members and fans of the Quiniston Curling Club for all their support over the years. I remember when we went to the Travelers Nationals, we completely relied on the support of our club, doing fundraisers, just sending messages from afar. The social media was overwhelming, and it was just so special to hear that all your fans from Ontario, your home province, were supporting you.
And that's what's so great about the Travelers Insurance Club Nationals. It really brings that kind of camaraderie on the club. There's a lot of sense of pride out there. Our club, we lost the national final, and I remember talking to almost everybody that I saw the next week, and everybody was watching online.
Yep.
And everyone was so proud of the guys for going so far.
It's curling
and
hard.
When Wes and I got a chance to represent our club again,
Okay, we're okay.
we were very, very, very
Just
well
by.
supported. Everybody kind of rallied around us, and it kind of has that almost feel that you would imagine an old school Briar would feel like, where you win your club, and then at that point you beat everybody that you're playing against. And they're pissed you beat them, but now they're rooting for you 100%. And everyone supports behind you.
Yeah.
Those old days from the Ontario Tankard where you used to have to win your club. There used to be 20 teams trying to play out of your club, and then you go to your zones, and then you go to your regions, and you go to provincials.
Yep.
And Travelers has really kind of filled a void for the club curler.
Yes. Yes.
Where the Briar used to be, and is now not attainable to the average, just really good casual curler. There's a lot of really talented club curlers But if you don't have the time to put in all the efforts,
spend the money.
Yeah, the
spend the
Briar
weekend,
and the
spend the time.
Tankard, it's not that attainable. The average team that goes to provincial now probably plays 8 weekends.
Absolutely.
It's a crazy amount of time
December.
away.
Yeah, between September and December, that's every other weekend.
Towers is filled a big void, and
Bird is the word. Shout out to Christy Bird.
Yeah. Shout out to Curtis Bird.
Different spelling.
Yep. Yes.
Just as
spelling.
talented.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa.
This looks like a nice shot
much.
here. Oh.
Whoa.
Sit.
Too much.
Okay.
Yeah, Christy called it just a little bit too much. Nice looking throw there. Didn't need the outside sweeper.
So yeah, Northern Ontario's goal here, I think, is to have someone score points. The blank is not favorable because it means that Team Saskatchewan has that all-important hammer in the evens in the last end, in the 8th end. But at the same time, they don't want to give up a big end here, so they want to eliminate those blues. It looks like she's on the guard. So that's not great.
Looked a little tight the whole way there, Nicole.
Yeah. Interesting to see what Saskatchewan does here. The center guard, very interesting call. I would think she would go to the wing and set up the deuce and just walk away with the 2 and make Northern Ontario get that 2 in the next end. I think with the position of these blues as they sit right now, we got one just behind the center line, or the T line rather, and another one back 8. It's not a great setup for the deuce if you throw a center guard on it, because you know at some point Northern Ontario is going to play the come around to freeze and kill the end for you. If you play with no guards, because we've already said that you never regret peeling the guard, there's no guards, so you're already at advantage, Saskatchewan. Why are you throwing a center guard here when you have the hammer?
I would rather see her throw this rock through the rings. I'd
Oh.
rather see her peel her own rock than call a center guard.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
She
so
slipped in and her skip sound disappointed, but I would argue this worked out incredibly better than the normal guard.
Absolutely.
Exactly like you said, if you come up short here, they come around and now they're on the button, they're shot, your own rock is now guarding them.
Yep. Think about what Northern Ontario wanted them to play. They wanted them to play the center guard. They were begging them to play that center guard.
Absolutely.
And
this
they did.
Good for the double, triple?
Yep, double for sure.
Double.
Nice shot, Nick.
Yeah. Get that out. Okay, that's good.
Nice looking shot.
Really nice. Saved by Nicole Charbonneau.
Yeah.
Now Saskatchewan trying to hit and roll and maneuver the stones, try and set up their 2 again. The 2 looked a little bit easier a rock ago when they could have split the rings. Now they have to do some work here to split the rings and set it up again.
Yeah.
Very happy with the blank.
Very, very happy with the blank.
So maybe they've got that in the back of their mind. Yep.
If you asked any team before a game if they would be happy going to the 8th end tie with hammer, every single one would say yes. I'd be ecstatic.
Whoa!
Because you win that game 80% of the time.
Bird, we got nothing. Hard.
I think they have something.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think she was pretty firm.
And looking like a blank here.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't get a time.
Yeah.
Assuming every shot's made from this point on, we're looking for a good bank. And Saskatchewan should be happy with that.
Saskatchewan's going to be left with probably 1 rock on the T line. Either side of the rings that they will have to peel out.
Late in the end, Northern Ontario, do you ever guard this rock? Do you ever try to trick your opponent? Into trying to come around that, trying to be greedy,
it's
go for
not
that 2
wrong.
or 3.
It's not wrong. Because again, the textbook says for them that they want to force a score of 1 somewhere. They want to force a score of 1 to the other team. So they're kind of letting that ship sail away. If they threw a center guard there, what would Saskatchewan's response have been? To peel the guard? Or to go to the wing or to go around it?
I don't think they would.
I don't know.
I think personally I would have. But I think they're in this little bit more of an aggressive mindset. I think they go top 12, top 8. And if it's not made top 8 perfectly, it leaves an opportunity. Come around, kind of corner freeze.
Yep.
Think about what your goal is. Never forget about your goal in the end.
Looks like it's got some of it. Might be rolling out, but that's fine.
And again, if their goal is to blank, absolutely. Nothing wrong with that.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Now, here,
Nice
okay,
shot there.
this is my favorite scenario. So you're tied in 7.
You like the guard here?
Yes, I love the guard. Yes, I do. Because you're forcing them to peel, and if Saskatchewan ever does go around it, game on.
Yep.
All of a sudden, that
absolutely.
score is back in play. Don't make it easy for them.
Yeah, I
Hate
agree.
them. Yep.
I like this.
Yep.
Yep. Melanie's preaching right now. Bait them into playing that come around, and if they do, you turn around and you laugh almost. Because
there's not a lot of places that the come around can be really good for Saskatchewan.
Yes. Because one freeze shrinks the rings down.
Exactly. If you're top 4, you freeze, and now you have a very small area to draw to for your 2 points.
I mean, I'm guessing Saskatchewan just walk up and peel it, but it means that the skip is not getting a chance to throw a draw either.
Yeah, just a little heavy there.
Yep.
So we won't get an opportunity to see how it plays out.
No. I would have loved that. Because again, we're here to learn. I'm here to learn about the game of curling. I'm a student of the game. I'm a student of John Thompson. I want to see how things play out.
Yes! Whoa, where are we?
It's fortunate coached by Ian Tetley this year, and I enjoyed his teachings.
Yeah. I think that the coaches of the game are really underrated. Like when we were growing up, we were absolutely blessed with great coaches that shared for nothing.
Some of them, I would argue some are overrated.
But again, giving their time.
That's a good one though.
To the game. Oh, please. There are a few that know more about the game.
Looking for a nose hit here. Again, I think you could argue you throw up a guard here. Being tied without hammer is not a great situation.
It's if that rock was on the center line, I might agree with you.
But you're going after the forest. You don't care about a steal.
Yeah!
I don't think the position on that rock particularly matters.
So you're saying that they should throw a center guard here and see
No,
what Saskatchewan does?
no. Sorry. Not. I said a center guard. Just a guard over top of that rock, half covering that rock somewhere. Something that baits Saskatchewan and is thinking maybe they could get 2,
Here where they haven't hit yet? Sure.
3 maybe.
Here-ish. Yep.
And something you try to force them. The odds are tied without hammer, you're not winning this game a large percentage of the time.
You're right. The odds
I
are
would like to see Northern Ontario force the issue a little bit more there.
Yeah, I guess if you know the odds are going to be stacked against you in the last end if you're tied without the hammer, why not risk giving up 2?
Yeah, exactly.
And going for the steal. Throw a center guard on that. If Saskatchewan goes around it again, you're really happy. If they peel it, you get the blank anyway. Or at least you nose hit and they have to make the roll out for the blank.
Yep, yeah. That's my thought at least.
Yep, I think that's completely fair.
There's Chrissy
Do you need
Froelich,
help?
delivers her last rock.
What's
Sweepers
interesting?
are on it.
Yeah.
Cannot leave this one light. That's
No.
the only mistake here.
No.
As long as it's in.
As long as it's in.
Yeah.
Truer words have never been spoken.
I've had this situation where my skip comes down and he talks to me and say, "Oh, we're gonna throw it over here," and I tell him, "Why would we bother doing this? What benefit could you possibly get except the odd and the very low percentage that they actually miss the takeout completely and flash it?"
Yeah. Timeout being called by Team Northern Ontario. Smart call. Because with how tight that rock is to the rings, it's splittable for 2. So we talked earlier about like ticking and throwing enough weight. So if Northern Ontario were to throw the come around and be heavy and go through, Saskatchewan is faced they stand at a crossroads thinking of whether or not they tick that on for 2. Let's listen to see what they're saying.
She hits and roll out. It's the same scenario.
Or she draws for 1. I like
drawing in, making her shoot her last shot, right? Not throwing her away.
Are we comfortable being 1 up, coming home without the hammer?
What would you rather be, 1 up, coming home without the hammer, or
tied, coming home without the hammer?
Oh my.
Yeah.
So that's a conversation that should have happened before arriving. Teams should know what kind of team they are. Are we a team that's down 1 with the hammer or up 1 without? What is our team's preference? It sounds like they're trying to decide that right now. Could be to their detriment if they spend too much time thinking about what they want.
I know.
Yeah. And I think that was a quick conversation. I think that was.
No, we're going here.
them just
Oh, I was
bringing
thinking
it
going
up.
on there.
Oh, we're going here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, you
maybe
don't
not.
want to
They're
Yeah, yeah.
I was thinking going around there.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Okay.
Interesting.
she doesn't like that at all, eh?
Then she has to play.
Yeah.
So she's
Oh.
removed.
I
She
thought we
does
were-
not.
no,
She
no.
absolutely does not want to give up 2 here. So she's going to throw this rock literally anywhere in the paint, so that
Yeah, no, I
Saskatchewan
like
has to hit it, and they can never play the split. And
Yeah, I
on the same token, she can
don't-
never accidentally tap that corner guard into the rings.
don't like this call. I think this was a gift that Saskatchewan dropped off at your front doorstep, and you take your opportunity. You go back 4, you go back 8 around this.
Anywhere, really.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're buried, even a quarter, third showing, they probably don't take on the peel. And you get your force here, that's huge.
Yep.
That's really good.
You're
now
giving
now
the-
you're looking good to win this game. Now the odds are in your favor.
Yep. You're playing this shot to give them the blank, which is what they want. Again, we talked earlier about what do you think your opposition wants us to throw? They're throwing it right now.
Okay. Stop.
And if we're talking about just giving them an easy shot for the blank, do you not just hit that top blue one? Isn't that the more automatic shot than trying to throw this draw? Yeah, that's good enough.
Well, I don't think it is.
That's
It's a
out
long
by
way.
Mission
a mile.
accomplished.
Okay,
Mission accomplished.
Oh yeah, they're not trying that split. That's a hard
What do you want
split.
to throw? Which turn?
Can we hold it out better this way?
Looking at this shot, this is
you
a
throwing your
very
leather?
important shot here by
Yeah, it'll probably
Christy.
end up being. Is that enough to roll?
Oh, yeah, I think that's lots.
Okay.
Yeah.
She wants to. So when we say she wants to peel, she wants her thrown rock to leave the paint and this rock that she's hitting,
Yeah.
resulting in a blank end.
Blank end, they'll carry over hammer.
It'll end up being an 11.
Quick
And-
update on the other sheets. We have a final. Quebec
finals.
over New Brunswick. So Quebec has given themselves life. They are into, at the very least, a tiebreaker against Nova Scotia. If they can hold off Newfoundland Labrador, they're up 4-2. And we also have Alberta victorious over PEI. So Alberta has clinched first place in that pool. PEI waiting. They're going to be
Ooh.
finishing third.
Trouble on our sheet.
Yeah, it looks like this rock is going to stick
Looking
around.
like the nose.
Yeah,
Wow. That's
So-
a big mistake here from
a
Saskatchewan.
Northern Ontario victory
Just one blue.
in every way.
One blue.
I think you got to throw that rock harder. You do not want to stick around there. You absolutely fire it down.
I knew we couldn't hold it. So I thought, well, let's
Yeah,
hold
whatever weight you can throw accurately,
Mhm.
and whatever weight you know. But I would agree, at a minimum, you probably want to throw normal weight.
Yeah. But take the curl out of the equation a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so Saskatchewan, they are now up 1 without the hammer. Their goal could be one of 2 things, either to force Northern Ontario and go to an extra end with the hammer, or steal. And so we're seeing the center guard called. That means they want to
Okay.
steal. When you throw a center guard, you are screaming at the other team's face, we want to steal 1.
Shoot, we need more ice.
Yeah, and I don't think you need to do this. I think you can put. It's always easier, in my opinion, to throw a rock in the house and then guard it.
You know
You
what
throw-
Northern Ontario is going to do. You know they're throwing a corner guard. They want 2 to win the game.
Oh yeah.
Why not take advantage of that and go top 4 now and then guard
Exactly.
it after?
Yeah.
I
You
agree.
make that first draw good.
Yep.
You put it in top 4, maybe nibble the button, and then on the next one you try that kind of tight center guard.
Yep.
Northern Ontario is going to throw this corner guard regardless.
Yeah, they cannot
They're
hit
ni-
that rock because
Oh.
that means you just want to take 1 point. That doesn't
Yeah,
make any
and
sense.
then you're going to an extra without hammer.
Yeah.
What are they going for here? Are they trying to tick the center?
I think so. They realize
They
that
think
it's heavy.
it's heavy.
Yeah,
Oh wow.
it's definitely heavy.
Oh.
Saskatchewan's definitely going to
This
respond
is
by removing
it's
this rock.
quite heavy.
Yep. This is in the rings.
It's staying in the top house.
For our viewers that don't know, there's a rule in curling called the 4-rock rule. And so rocks that are guards, so in the big white space above the rings, they cannot be removed until the second's first stone, or rather the 5th thrown stone. The first 4 rocks in that area cannot be removed. So because this rock has slipped into the ring, Saskatchewan's going to take advantage by removing it.
And hopefully getting a little roll behind.
Yeah.
So they're behind that center guard they just
setting
threw.
up that steal.
Yeah.
go.
From the sounds of that, no, I would guess it's a little wide.
From my position, it does look a little wide.
Piece
Yeah.
of it. Yep.
Again, goal number 1, remove this rock. Goal number 2
like
is
it's
to
got
roll
a good
buried.
chunk of it.
Fine.
Yep, they're
Got
nosing
it.
it. They're fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Northern Ontario is going
The
to have
no
to
was a little dramatic.
get creative.
Yeah.
Get creative here. Electing to hit this.
It sounded like a hitting a small quarter no, not a we're not getting the roll no.
Yeah. So electing to hit this stone. Need to stick around. The 2 has not materialized yet because you don't have a corner guard. You're playing around to center.
Yep.
Rock a little bit wide.
Whoa.
So if this blue were to be removed from play, it would go back to its original position. So it's stuck around. So that's what we would call the tick shot.
But for a team who does not want it at all.
No, they would have liked that rock to stay sort of guarding the 8-foot ring, the white ring, so that they could have drawn around it later. That rock is still technically usable, but it's very, very far out.
This is an interesting situation here for Saskatchewan. They're calling a draw here, but I think it's an odd situation where I think I would love to peel out my own rock in the top 12 here.
You don't think they throw a center guard or try to get the steal?
No, I think they're pretty happy. Like, you peel out your own rock and you get the...
Go to the extra end?
Yeah, you get the forced 1. You have an extra. You have hammer. It's a pretty great situation.
Yes, the reason we say that is if there's no rocks in play right now, there's nothing for Northern Ontario to hide behind. So Saskatchewan would be very right to have peeled out that top 12 one and tell Northern Ontario, the indication being, we are okay giving you 1. We're going to go to the extra end. We are going to have the hammer. We're going to take our 1 and win the game. By throwing a draw, they're still trying to steal. They're trying to win the game right now.
Yeah, and I'm going to disagree with Christy there. That is not okay. And because I was going to say that top 12 one's basically a guard, and the one back 12 is one you can freeze on. This is a very surprising call from Northern Ontario.
I agree. I thought they would have drawn around and frozen to that back one.
Oh, absolutely.
That
was a big opportunity missed.
A guard. That back 8 rock is a guard because it is something that Northern Ontario can freeze to. Saskatchewan would be well within their rights to remove that blue one now because that is a chance for Northern Ontario to get 2 if they ever make the freeze.
Yeah, again, I would love to see them peel out their own rock here. I think that blue off to the side is rolled far enough, so it's not actually covering any of the house. The worst thing you can do right now is end up kind of top 12 and trying to replace that rock.
Yep. And I really hope that we see Northern Ontario play the come around this time and realize that this rock being thrown right now is a guard in their favor, no matter where it is in the rings.
Don't worry about getting your 1 right now. There's a lot of rocks left. Try to get your 2 if you're Northern Ontario.
Yep. Again, they're electing to hit.
They're hitting, and it's a guard.
Yeah, this rock is theirs right now. If they make this come around top 4, Saskatchewan is scared.
Oops, sorry.
They are going to start running for the hills to not give up 2.
Yeah. Top 4.
There we go.
You go.
There
Nice
we
call.
go.
Yeah.
This is
Love
Nicole
this call.
throwing. Yep, she has.
Yep.
Call has been changed. We're playing the draw.
Yep.
We are signaling to Saskatchewan, thank you for throwing that guard. We are now going to take our 2 points. We're going to use it. We're going to use the rock that you put back 8 as backing.
Yep. Yep.
Again, calling hard line, but
it looks a little
going
soft.
With the
It's
outside
over
sweeper.
curling.
Okay, whoa.
I did, but
Oh my.
It's okay, Nick.
again, that's a corner guard, relatively close to the center.
Yep. Saskatchewan should realize here that we now have to win the game right now.
Try here.
We're going to just shrink
Yeah,
the rings.
they had a lot of opportunities to pass 2 shots to
Yeah.
clean this up and make it a pretty carefree blank.
Yeah.
Now they're going to have to make some shots.
here.
They're going to have to do well. They can't leave this light. They can't slip into the back 12, or sorry, back house.
Mhm.
They need to take advantage, and they need to put this in a good position.
Yeah, we could see the winner of this game be the first person to get a rock top 4.
Yeah,
behind
absolutely.
those 2 center guards. Yeah.
You get one buried here, top 4, if you're Northern Ontario.
Yep. Hold it.
You're going to have to draw the button for 2.
Hold line.
Yep.
If Saskatchewan gets one top 4,
You got it.
Northern Ontario's going to have to draw the button
Okay, we're
to
by.
Line's
We're by,
really
we're
good.
by,
You
we're
tie.
by, we're
Do not
by,
need to
we're
go for
by.
line here.
Yeah, it's
Walker,
way out
finish
there.
it.
Weight looks great.
Yep.
Walker! Yep. You didn't hear me. I said that.
That's pretty good.
So Melanie has indicated, okay, the nose hit.
Should have switched. I have 4.
So
I
their
don't
goal.
mind hitting this one because this one is a dangerous
Yeah,
rock.
absolutely, it is a trouble
If you
rock.
flirt around and try to kind of tap this or maybe draw around on the intern side, it's it could leave you in a bad position.
The nice thing about nosing this rock is you can see, when the camera shows the rings again, you can see that there's that blue that's in the back of the 8-foot. If they make this shot on the nose and then Saskatchewan tries to hit it, they could jam and then keep that yellow rock in play. That sets up the 2 that they've been looking for.
This is diving towards that guard. Sweeper's working hard on it.
Nice shot.
Oh, great sweep.
That's a great shot.
Yeah. I didn't think you could.
Oh, no.
And she's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that good, Rena?
It's almost dangerous with those rocks that are kind of so far off into the wings where
I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. Sure.
you almost forget they're there. I've done that too.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Where a rock that's not actually in play, you're not worrying about it. It's not in your mind at all.
No.
But it's still actually hanging on there somewhere
Yeah.
way off to the side. And you just trip over because you're just walking backwards.
Yeah, and it's in that path that when you are finished sweeping a rock as a sweeper, you kind of are going off to the side and stepping right in that.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
area.
You're backing off a shot you just
Yeah.
made. You're kind of still looking at it. You're evaluating it.
Yeah.
You're about to turn around, and then the rock right by your feet.
Very real.
It happens. Glad she's okay.
Yep.
As we update sheet 6, BC with a big 3 points to go up 5-3 on Northwest Territories. That we now know because Alberta has won over PEI is
It's still
for
running.
second place.
Well, it was last.
Yeah, that pool's kind of cleaned itself up. We already knew who the 3 finalists were going to be, Alberta, PEI, and British Columbia. They were just playing for seeding.
Yeah.
Alberta will finish first in that pool. British Columbia would go on to win. They would finish second, and PEI will finish third.
Close.
I think we are.
Yeah, I guess because
Here?
BC already beat PEI, correct?
Yes.
Yeah,
that
so
is
it's
right.
already guaranteed.
It is already.
Yeah,
yeah,
that,
that's
that
easy.
game does
anything,
not matter
I would say
anymore.
we sit
It's Alberta,
here,
BC,
not run it.
PEI.
So I think we should
So
go here.
we'll see PEI playing Ontario
This is a
tomorrow
hard
in the
tomorrow.
quarterfinals.
Okay.
Are you good with that?
And BC playing
gotta be out here,
the
though.
winner of these tiebreaker scenarios between Nova Scotia, Quebec, and New
Fight!
Brunswick.
Yes, so
Fight
Nova
the
Scotia
four.
has won their game against Newfoundland and Labrador, forcing the 3-way tie between Nova Scotia, Quebec, and New Brunswick. So that will have to be sorted out before the playoffs can begin. We might be back here at midnight playing tiebreakers.
Yep. Yeah, 3-way tiebreakers. I believe it's one midnight tonight and one tomorrow morning. So that's
Good God.
yeah, it's a long
Or rather,
road.
Oh mon Dieu for the.
And then
Quebec
quarterfinals and then a semis that same day.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention you've already played 2 games today. So
Yeah,
it'll be 3 games today.
I've already
3
said
games
it's a
tomorrow.
marathon. So we're seeing Saskatchewan elect to come around
We're way
all
out
this
here.
Senegard mess here. Again,
wide,
indicating
you
that they're
might
trying to
have
just
to
steal
go.
this game and win right now.
Where are you?
This needs to curl.
It's coming now.
Bird working on the
Don't-
outside.
Don't lose it.
Weight looks good.
Yeah, Wade is definitely good. Just needs to
Whoa,
curl.
whoa, 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 you guys. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Swing a bit
whoa,
deep.
Whoa.
Weight was great, but
Okay. She got
I'm not
wide.
sure if she curled quite
Fine.
enough.
So what is Northern Ontario going to try here? They want to make this double and sit 2 and threaten the win? Or do you want to just make the hit and roll and try and set up for later?
Do you even play any hit here? Do you just draw in top 4? Put your rock in a spot where it's relatively unremovable.
Mm-hmm.
And Saskatchewan really has to question what they're going to do. Are they going to freeze on it, try to cut down the wings?
They're throwing the hit.
Yeah.
So they're trying to sit 2 after this shot. Saskatchewan cannot miss.
The double would be good,
Yeah.
but I don't think they need it right now. I think the
close.
draw would go further. It's real good. That is, yeah.
Double made for the purposes of sitting 2.
Yeah, and you gotta You got to acknowledge that
Yep.
that is nerve-wracking right now for Saskatchewan.
Back line-ish with that.
Yep. Back line. You can do it.
Saskatchewan in.
Yep, Saskatchewan, Team
Good
DuPont,
shot.
Western Professional Agronomy. I can barely say that word. Twin Rivers Curling Club, the Battlefords, Better Homes and Gardens,
Yeah.
Meridian Utilities,
So
Scott
like a
Campbell
3
Dodge,
split.
the Discovery Co-op.
Yeah, interesting anecdote that I can share about the co-op is my mom, Lori Schmid, who I think is tuning in today, has worked at the co-op.
Hi, Lori.
So we're big fans of the
Hope you're doing well.
co-op there.
Big shot here.
I believe my dad is watching too, Robert. Hey, Dad.
Walker down.
Yeah, so everything for Saskatchewan right now is must make. Because Northern Ontario is sitting the 2 points, they need to defend against that.
Working tight. Walker's working hard on this one. It looks good, but
Line
it's going
does
to be
look good.
close.
It's by the top guard.
Yeah. It's by the second one. It's by the second.
Just a little rub, little roll, flop in for shot
Oh,
rock.
that is a great shot.
Absolutely phenomenal.
Nice shot. Good
Not sure if you can
speed,
hear
Ryan.
home, but the Saskatchewan
Breathing life into
crowd
the
is
team.
erupting in the stands.
You can see the flags waving there. Go Team Sask.
There you go, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Northern Ontario knows their job now. They have to make this short run back, sit 2 again. They
Could
are
almost make it well and sit 3.
You can see all.
yeah, absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, if you hit.
Sort of 3/4, a thick 3/4.
Yeah, exactly. If you
direct
just
it
hit
back on that blue.
That blue, kind of a little high nose.
Yep.
Or is it low? Yeah, a little low nose.
Set it back onto that back
Back on
12
that one.
one. Yeah, you'll sit 3. And Saskatchewan must
Actually,
make.
you don't even need to.
No, you don't need to. No,
Yeah,
just
yellow,
sit 2 here.
yellow is shot 1-2 here. Sorry. Yellow is shot 2-3.
Yep.
If they just be able to make this run back and lie 1-2-3, they're in a really good position.
Yep. Saskatchewan again in a
Yeah.
must make. And they're just going to make something nice here to get out of
Again,
it.
a lot of pressure on this shot.
Yep. It would not be good enough just to open it up anymore. You have to make this. You have to make contact with the rock on the button.
No, that it looks close.
It's got a
Hard.
curl.
Whoa. Yeah. Whoa.
Got a curl.
Close on and
This
off.
rock needs to touch
Oh
center.
wow, that moved. That was a big jump. It's close.
This rock is really good.
Close.
Incredible.
Great shot.
Really nice shot.
I believe it's close for
I know.
third shot, but yellow is definitely 1 and 2.
What is Saskatchewan going to do here to defend against the loss? The loss is on the table right now. They're indicating about throwing a draw to the button.
Timeout.
Yeah,
Trying to
I-
shrink the rings. It
I
might be all
like,
they have.
Both of these
Because
first
hitting this double
instinct
does
there.
Nothing because there's this.
The other
to
option is
throw
the
the-
triple takeout. There was a nose hit on the yellow that was just thrown by Northern Ontario to send it straight back to hit the rock that's top button. And then maybe
one gives us
chisel
more.
off the back side yellow rock and remove all 3 of them, therefore guaranteeing the extra end for Team Saskatchewan. Or you can throw that all or nothing draw.
Yeah.
I would argue that the triple takeout is also all or nothing.
Everything is all or nothing at this
you-
point for
you have to
Saskatchewan,
wait.
yes.
I think you can throw this in for and draw, force Northern Ontario to make another
We have a lot
good
of
shot just like they did.
Got a
You
lot
can
of
put
room.
it in a little bit of tough spot, try to be almost right beside that
Really the only shot we
yellow
so we
rock,
threw
maybe
here,
an inch deeper,
but you
deeper
have-
of it.
Let's
Back
try and listen
there.
and see what they're talking about.
So edge of 12 here.
Yep.
Okay, they're going to make this draw.
Yeah.
We've had a request from a Nova Scotian fan who is no stranger to the Travelers. They want to know what Nova Scotia's tiebreaker situation is. And the short answer is we don't know. We know that they are in a tiebreaker with Quebec and New Brunswick, but we do not know
Nice shot.
who will be seated where. I think it will be based on the cumulative draw to the button, and we don't yet have access to that information. Sorry, Lucas.
That was a little narrow.
Yeah, Parafianowitz, yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey, Lucas. Glad to see you're tuning in.
Yeah, Lucas is a former member of the Cataraqui Golf and Country Club. They actually lost the final of the Travelers Curling Club Championship in Halifax
Yeah.
to Team Saskatchewan.
Sort
Okay.
of homecoming for Lucas.
Line's
Nope.
good.
This is
Sure.
Yep.
looking
line.
good.
There.
It looks pretty good.
I
This
think-
rock is not in the
I
rings. It's
think
game over.
light.
It is light. It's
We're on the
over curled.
front.
So by virtue of that
More
run
than
back,
that.
Northern Ontario
Yeah.
has
And
won
good
the
game for
game.
Northern Ontario.
Bigger than that.
Thanks. Good game.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Shame to
Good
see
game.
that come up light, but
Yep.
that was a great first
Thanks.
run back by
Thanks.
Northern Ontario.
Thanks. Good game. Are you okay?
Very clutch shot in an important moment there by Patrick.
Yeah, Saskatchewan did everything right in forcing play around that center guard. Just unfortunate that Northern Ontario was able to make some really key shots there. That was a great game. That was a really close game. That's all you can ask for watching curling. It was a tight game. It was a 1-point game in the last end.
It's great for the fans.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed watching it. Thank you to the ladies of Saskatchewan and Northwest Territories for putting on a great show. Thank you to all our volunteers and our officials are out there. See Steve Whitehill down there at the end of the ice, silver-haired fox.
He's our resident scorekeeper here.
Yeah. And thank you, above anybody else, Travelers Insurance Company for making this tournament possible.
Yeah, it's better under the umbrella.
Yeah, this is an amazing tournament, and they're the ones who keep it running. So thank you.
Yep. Please stay tuned online, and we'll hopefully get you the information about when the tiebreakers are going to happen between Nova Scotia, Quebec, and New Brunswick.